what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. How's everyone doing? Oh boy, this chapter. Oh man, how's everyone doing? Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm not gonna say I'm sleep deprived, but I didn't get the most sleep. I slept well. I'll let you guys know I slept well. For those of you guys who saw my tweet earlier today. Oh my god, you guys are gonna love the videos I have this weekend. Yo, the video that goes up on Monday, I'm so fucking proud of that video. Slow chat, we put slow chat on once we start the discussion, but as of right now, this is where people tune in, where I can kind of like say hi to everybody, see how everyone's week's been, etc, etc. Jacob,
I hope you get some good sleep. If you didn't, I'm quitting right now.
Oh god.
Don't make me call mom a murder of birds.
Oh god, don't call my mom, please. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I slept well. I slept well enough. I've been so on the fucking ball with it. I haven't put out a single review for any of the episodes because I'm doing all this other shit. My reviews are gonna be like short, sweet, to the point whenever they end up coming out, but yeah, like I've just been like super excited for what I'm working on the back end. I've been doing a lot of theories. I have another theory video that I'm working on. I have another video that, like I said, I teased. You guys will see that video on Monday. Monday's video, oh my god, I can't wait for people to see it. It's so cool. But yeah, I mean, I've been working my ass off. I've been obviously I'm pumped. I have so much motivation. I have so much energy to get shit done. Volume 6 has been so good so far, and you know, I want to just keep that going. So yeah, I think a lot of you guys will enjoy the videos over the next couple of days. Obviously today's a live stream discussion. Monday morning might be a theory video. I'm gonna try to see if I can finish it tonight and into tomorrow. Like I have tonight and all day tomorrow to get it done. I threatened unsubbing if you didn't get 40 winks. I slept. I'll say that much. I did get some sleep. I slept for about 6 hours, which is relatively good sleep for me. Usually 10 hours is like a blessing, but...
Just gonna get this out of the way early.
Sure.
Fight was great. Neo is bae. Cinder is still boring. And that effect with the fire reflecting in Neo's right eye is a super underappreciated shot.
Yeah.
Also, Qrow is gonna die.
Yikes. Thank you, Zeno. I think that's you, Josh. Thank you.
You needed to empty my PayPal, and I think you deserved it the most.
Thank you.
Love the work you do, and I can't wait for more reactions.
I appreciate it.
Cheers,
Yeah.
my dude.
Completely forgot. Yeah, my reaction goes up this Saturday as well. I wasn't like not even thinking about the reaction on Saturday. I should have a video out Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon for the reaction. I should have a video out on Sunday. Actually, you guys will be getting a video on Sunday. And if I can finish this other video by Monday, you guys will be getting a video on Monday as well. And then the rest of that week is going to be prepping for a bunch of different things. Next week is the Video Game Awards. So I'm going to try to do 2 streams in a single day. Next Thursday is both my RWBY discussion for Chapter 6 and the Video Game Awards. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to stream the RWBY discussion a couple hours early, depending on what Chapter 6 has in store. So next week's discussion, if you're not following me on Twitter, be sure to follow me on Twitter so you guys can know, like, up to date, like, what my plans are. I'll also post in the YouTube community tab. But next Thursday is my live stream. Next Thursday, the Game Awards start at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it's probably gonna run for about 2 hours. So what I want to do, if the Game Awards is at 9 p.m., I want to do my discussion like maybe 5 p.m. so that way it gives me like a 3-4 hour window to get through the discussion and move into everything else. And the lady above me is vacuuming at 7 p.m. So if you guys hear that, that's what it is. If you don't hear it, then that's even better, because then only I can hear it. But yeah, so show of hands, what'd you guys think of the chapter? Well, not show of hands, I'm fucking dumb. Out of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, what do you think about the, what did you think about the chapter? I will say right off the bat, like straight up, Neo carried this episode. I think the episode is so good because Neo's return and the fighting. Now that I've had a few days to kind of sit on it and marinate on it and whatnot. Yeah, I'd say the episode was like an 8. 8.5. Yeah, I mean, oh my god, the fight was so good. The fight is so good. You guys will, I mean, you guys will understand what I mean by that. Like, obviously, I'm going to break down the fight and talk about certain things that I liked about it, the choreography, just the certain nuances of it. Obviously, Neo's return is really great, too. Yeah, the tone was really great. It went, my friend Josh in the Discord put it perfectly. He was like, it went from, like, an action, like, fight, like a RWBY action fight scene to, like, a murder mystery. Like, it was, like, night and day. Like, the first half, not even the first half, like, the first, like, 3 minutes is just action, hype, choreography, greatness, and then the second half is, or the rest of it is just a murder mystery. So I thought that was really funny. how he compared that. Slow chat will be posted. Once we start the discussion. Like, it's only, I've only been on for like 7 minutes, so another 5 minutes or so to kind of just, you know, get the opener out of the way, let everybody, like, talk to everybody and whatnot. And once we start the discussion, I already have it up on my screen here, but once we start the discussion, I click that box, and then slow chat will be enabled. But yeah, I thought it was a really great chapter overall. So I'm very excited for for this Saturday, just to see how it all comes together. Because, I mean, the opening kind of hinted at this happening, too, from like everything that's going on with Qrow, and that little tunnel looks similar to the tunnel that was in the village that they're in right now. I want to know if the Grimm is somewhat affecting that. The people falling asleep. It's like day 5 too. It's like RWBY crossover with day 5.
Because Neo returned. Also, INB4 Red Dead 2 clears all the categories it was nominated for.
I really hope that's not the case. I really want God of War to win Game of the Year. Red Dead 2 is great. I don't think it's as great as, like, its initial release, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't think Red Dead 2 is leaps and bounds above the original Red Dead. Graphics aside, because that's expected in 2018. But no, I think overall, I think God of War is gonna win. I want it to win Game of the Year. That was a really great game. And I've played that. I've played Spider-Man. Spider-Man's another thing, too. Spider-Man was really good. But, like, God of War, like, it's a completely different experience. It's so different from its predecessors. Whereas Spider-Man, it's a Spider-Man game. Like, it's a good Spider-Man game, but like, you know what you're getting into when you're playing that. I think getting into God of War, it's something, like, you've never experienced before in the franchise. So I really do think, or rather, I really want God of War to win Game of the Year. I don't really care if it does or doesn't. In my opinion, that's, like, my Game of the Year, so I don't really care if, like, a nominee voting thing ends up being different, like, public opinion ends up being different or whatever. And then on top of that, Smash Brothers comes out next Friday. So if you guys have a Nintendo Switch, if you guys want to play Smash Brothers with myself and other viewers and whatnot, I will be playing Smash Brothers on my Twitch channel.
As a guy who cleared both Red Deads within a week each, I can firmly say you're very wrong about that.
That's completely fine. And you know what? I'm speaking with a bit of ignorance because I haven't played it. My brother's played it, and I've seen people stream the game. So overall, you know, take my opinion with a grain of salt in that regard. But yeah, next week Smash Brothers comes out. I'm going to be playing it on Twitch regularly. I'll be playing that on Twitch regularly until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Getting all the characters, playing with viewers, playing with my subscribers and stuff like that. My Twitch subscribers, and doing game nights regularly. So I'm very excited about all of that because the Switch looks like it's going to be a really good console. The online functionality looks great, and Smash is my jam. So yeah. Let's see. Let me get through a couple of these before we start. Let's see. Don't worry, Neo caused me sleep deprivation too. I mean, I'm not sleep deprived, but I mean, I'm just like working. I'm trying to get stuff out, and I'm happy with the work ethic right now. Hey, what's up, Ross? Thanks for the 5, buddy. I'm doing great. Like I said, working hard. You know, staying busy and stuff like that. Looking forward to like how RWBY's gonna unfold as the weeks go on. Let's see. Michael, sorry. What's up, Arnold? Dropped by on my break. I'll watch the full thing after work tonight. Love you, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Michael. Make sure you're working hard instead of hardly working. Granted, you said you're on your break, so thank you very much, man. Appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much before we get into it, and I appreciate you stopping on by. Red Flower. Neo is definitely my favorite part of the episode. I think that's a lot of people. Neo is definitely my favorite part of the episode. It seems like the rest was just building. Yeah, the second half was really like set up for next week. At least I think so. Melanie Stern has been hyping up like the following, not hyping up, but like every week an episode that she's really looking forward to comes out. She tweets, like she subtly tweets about it. She's like, I think this week she was like, oh my gosh, I know I've been talking about RWBY constantly, but I'm so excited for people to see the next episode. So I think this episode's build up is going to pay off next week once we find out whatever's going to happen at the farm with Qrow and all the dead bodies and people, you know, Yang and Weiss mentioning that they're tired, and the Grimm under the house or under the wine cellar and whatnot. So I think the setup was, I think it was also like the second half was definitely set up. Ruby Moonrose, hey dude, this chapter was badass. The song, oh my god, the song! Yeah, we gotta talk about that too. The song, the fight, the setup for next week, one of the best seasons. By the way, Devil May Cry 5 for the win. Devil May Cry 5, I believe, comes out in February. I need to play the Devil May Cry series. I think I've only played like 1 or 2 Devil May Cries, and I don't really know the story or anything like that, but DMC 5 looks amazing. That's another game that I really want to check out next year. Oh my god, yeah, the song was so good. The song was incredible. But with all of that said, again, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I know we're getting a lot of super chats and donations and people in the chat in general. I do appreciate all of the support. But with all that said, I do want to get into the discussion at this point. So, as per usual, slow chat will be enabled. We have 965 people currently in the stream. We'll most likely break 1,000 by the time we get our stride going. So, slow chat will be implemented. Vroom. Justin, you screwed up, my boy. Dylan Ridenor? Is that how you say that? Thank you for the $5. Yeah, the bot broke. But I understood what you were getting at. But with all that said, super chat has been enabled. So, for those of you guys, if this is your first time in here, super chat is enabled so I can kind of read the chat and so it doesn't go completely crazy. So you can type 1 comment every 45 seconds. And that's ultimately to keep the peace and keep everything in check so that way I can kind of keep up with what everybody's saying and respond, you know, promptly and whatnot. But let me double check on this really quick. I feel bad for people without first memberships who got spoiled. It sucks. It does. Another thing, actually, thank you for mentioning it. Who mentioned that, by the way? D-Man, the anime fan. That's a really cool name, by the way. I feel a little indifferent about that now because I am put into I'm put into a box. I'm put into a corner now because I'm a first member, because I predominantly focus on RWBY content, and because I'm a first member, but I know that there are a lot of people on my channel who aren't first members. I did a poll on my channel. Actually, let me double check on that poll right now before we jump into it. So I did a poll last week, or rather earlier this week, on, like, I asked a simple question. I was like, how many people, like, do you have first membership, yes or no? And as of right now, that poll has 15,000 votes. So 15,000 people participated. 30% of people have first membership, 70% don't. So 70% of the 15,000 people who participated don't have first membership. And that puts me in a box because I don't want to be the cause of spoiling somebody, especially if it comes to like a thumbnail or a theory or a video that I really want to get out to people, but I can't, because, you know, if I do that, then I'm definitely going to get people like, oh, the episode's not out yet, you're spoiling, etc., etc. So, like, and I know that there's other people on YouTube who make RWBY videos that, like, they understand, like, okay, if that's the case, those people should just stay off. But I'm super considerate in that regard. Like, I don't ever want to be like, okay, well, if you can't be a first member, you shouldn't be on YouTube watching my videos or on my channel before you've seen the episode. So yeah, as of right now, like, it's a bit of a damper, because if I have a theory video, I have to wait till Saturday to put it out, and then by the time that it's out, the next episode could either confirm or deny that, similar to, like, my Jean Arc theory video. I'm always kind of
Neo's
like
ice cream.
back and forth.
So good it's to die for. Just ask our customers.
Oh, shut up.
Or don't.
Luca Blight. Neo's ice cream is so good, it's to die for. Just ask the customers in Brunswick Farm. Or don't. Yikes. But yeah, so that's kind of also what I've been dealing with. I know that this thumbnail, like the live stream discussions thumbnail, is a bit, you know, contradictory to what I just said. But at the same time, like, people have to understand, like, I'm a content creator. I understand people wanting me to, like, be considerate, but at the same time, those same people have to be considerate of the position that I'm in. 90% of the videos that I'm working on this week have a thumbnail that I can't post until the episode comes out because it's too much of a spoiler. And even my reaction video, I used, like, Cinder's face because, you know, anything else would have been, like, anything else would have just been, you know, too subtle, I guess. Or lack thereof. The way your bot reads is super creepy. Hey, that's Justin, okay? You don't make fun of Justin's voice or his manner of speaking. But yeah. With all that said, I for the most part, I am in a bit of a box right now. I also realized how many people don't have first memberships who watch my videos, so I'm also, again, I try to be considerate in that regard. But yeah, you know, if it happens, it happens. I'd hope people can understand. That's the thing, I never want the aim of my videos to be like, I want to spoil people. It's just, it's what I have to do. I'm a YouTuber, what do you expect? You know? So yeah. But anyways, all the rambling out of the way, we're about 20 minutes into the stream. So with all that said, let's talk about this fucking episode. So, right off the fucking bat, we're back to, so a week has passed from Cinder's perspective. I'm wondering what she's been doing this week, if she's just been, like, just chilling around, eating some apples off of what she got from that lady that she killed. And, Lil Miss is back in the picture, too. A week has passed at this point. She's got her information. She found out that Team RWBY and company are heading to Atlas. So she's on the same ball as Team Salem. Team Salem also knows that Hazel found out that the kids are going to Atlas too. So I think now, I'm glad that everyone's still in Mistral, because we're still getting a lot of, like, Mistral environments, and we're seeing a bunch of, you know, the other parts of the kingdom that we didn't get to see in Volume 5. So I'm happy about the fact that, to an extent, at least from Cinder's perspective, we're still in Atlas. We're still in Mistral, while Team RWBY is still in the kingdom. They're kind of moving toward, you know, everyone's basically going to be now converging to the next kingdom, which is Atlas, which is, again, I hope we don't reach Atlas by the end of this volume. I hope they take their time this volume, and maybe even next volume is when we'll get to Atlas. I just want them to kind of take their time, pace themselves well, flush out everything that we're going to get from point A to point B, because it's so jarring to know that Volume 1 through 3 was in Beacon, Volume 4 was the encapsulated transition from one kingdom to the next, and then Volume 5 we're in Mistral, the entire volume we're there, we don't see anything, and then we automatically are moving on to Atlas. So I think that's a mess up on the writer's parts, but at the same time, I think that it's good that they can at least, like, pull it back a bit. It's like, okay, people know we're going to Atlas. At the very least, we can make it a slow burn and fill in all the gaps until then. So I'm very happy that that's the case, because I'm loving what we're seeing of Mistral. Like, we're seeing the slums. We saw a little bit of, like, the black market. We're seeing some shady individuals. We got Lil Miss in here, which, you know, she has a lot of influence in Mistral in terms of, like, the black market or the dark side of the kingdom. So I really, really, really liked what we've gotten so far. And then we're getting a little bit of the villages too, like Brunswick Farms, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see a bunch of other places as well. Holy shit, Shades McGee! Oh my god, thank you for the $100 super chat. Might be in and out of the stream tonight, but wanted to hit you with this. I think the village is haunted by a Grimm representing a Dullahan or a Striga. I think that's how you say that. Check those creatures out. Looking forward to taking you down in Smash, bro. Well, first off, challenge accepted. Second of all, thank you so much for the incredibly generous super chat. And third of all, I will definitely make sure to look up that creature after the stream, just because I don't want to kind of go off the deep end too much with going off track or whatnot. I completely disagree. I disagree completely, Arnold. Wait, you mean disagree in terms of what? In terms of, like, my stance on what they're doing in Mistral right now? I mean, it's fine to disagree. I don't mind that. Like, again, and my opinions are my own. You guys are, you know, everyone's free to feel and think the way they want. But, I think that it's a really, I think at the very least, it's making up for the fact that they sat in a house for 10 episodes last volume, right? It's very clear that they're like, okay, we didn't show shit in Mistral. The least we can do is try to make up for that in some capacity with the next volume, and that's what I appreciate. It doesn't take away the fact that that's a major flaw of Volume 5, but the fact that they're putting that in now is appreciated, at least in my book. So yeah, that's all that I was getting at with that. Let's see. I love your RWBY discussions and reactions. Melissa Chavez. I hope I didn't butcher that. I love your RWBY discussions and reactions. You're such a passionate creator that it makes me proud to be a part of this fandom. They always put a smile on my face. Have a good holiday. Hugs and much love. Thank you. Thank you very much, Melissa. I'm really glad that you and a lot of other people have enjoyed the videos. I'm super proud of the videos that I've done too. Like, I go on a soapbox every time someone mentions it, but, like, I'm so proud of, like, the videos that I make now compared to, like, when I first started making RWBY videos back during Volume 1 and when most people discovered me during Volume 3. And, you know, I'm just glad that, A, people are able to get entertainment out of it, people are able to take something away from it, or, like, figure out something or learn something that they didn't know prior. And it's also, again, a good way for all of us to come together. We have 1,200 people together because of RWBY, because we all fucking love this show, and, you know, we love the story and where it's going, for better or for worse. And, you know, I especially me, because for the first couple of years of RWBY, I was always watching it by myself. I was very much by myself when it came to RWBY. So now that I'm able to do this, like, it's a blast. So I love it just as much as you guys do. So I very much appreciate the super chat, Melissa. Thank you very much for the kind words, and I'm glad that you've enjoyed the videos so far. With that said, I want to move on because the next bits are pretty cool. Okay, so there's a lot of attention to detail that I want to cover in this discussion. The first off being more people smoke. I mean, it's not really that crazy. Torchwick was the first character in the show who, you know, had a cigar and whatnot. I think Torchwick's the only character that we've seen who actually smokes, but now we see that Little Miss does as well. But I like the Top Shot's attention to detail because it's like a subtle nuance. It's just a subtle nuance. Like, the table hits and she just grabs the ashtray. I don't know why, but I think that added to the scene a bit. I really liked that. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta close something on my other screen here. Okay. Okay, we're good. A no smoking zone. People loving to smoke and wearing baller purple threads. Oh gosh. Yeah, I really like I don't know if we'll see Little Miss again at this point. Like, I feel like Cinder got her information, so she's gonna move on now.
It's 1 a.m. in Poland, but
oh god.
Maria, no but. I will be damned if I don't stay till the end of the stream.
Oh gosh, please go to sleep. People tell me to go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock where you live. It's only 7 o'clock here, but, I mean, I appreciate it. We're probably going to be going for at least 2 to 3... my estimation is 2 to 3 hours at this point, so 2.5 to 3.5 hours for the stream as a whole. But, my gosh, I appreciate you being here, but if you get tired, go to sleep. In the words of Morgana, go the fuck to sleep. But, yeah, Arnold, we literally watched a 5-hour Smash Brothers documentary at 2 in the morning. Well, that's different. I don't know what this guy's done or what he's been through today or what she's been through today. So, you know, I'm being considerate. I'm like, it's 1 o'clock where you live and you're watching this stream. This stream isn't as engaging as that Smash Brothers documentary also. I'll just put that out there. But yeah, I really like the subtlety of this moment here. And of course, the hype of the fucking episode. Yo, you know what's so funny? Saturday when this episode came out, there were people that were already tweeting at me. They were like, I can already hear your reaction right now. They're like, I can literally hear Arnold right now. Oh my god, this fight was so freaking good, man. This fight, the choreography, like, was so top notch. I loved everything about it. First off, we haven't seen Neo in damn near in roughly like almost 3 years. Like Volume 3, Chapter 11 was the last time we saw her. February of 2016 was the last time we saw her and majority of the other characters of the show. You know, we just got Neptune back. You know, it's been a while. It's been a long time. No one knew Neo's relevance. We didn't know like what purpose she would serve in the show. Now with Roman gone, and now it seems like revenge plot is going to be a factor for her, you know, as the song would suggest, and you know, as we can put together from her conversation or one-sided conversation from Cinder's perspective on everything. But my god, so like my reaction is currently posted on my Patreon, so it's an unedited early reaction. I do those every week. The same night the episode comes out, people who are pledged at the Huntsman and Huntress tier can watch the reaction, provided they have footage on their end for the episode, because I don't want my early reactions to be a gateway for people to go and watch the episode for free, or to watch it from my side. So, yeah, I mean, my reaction is... Oh, my fucking god, this episode was so good. The fight was amazing. It was so great. And we're going to talk about a lot of scenes. So first and foremost, the first thing that I want to kind of talk about is her semblance. And that's what they start off with right at the bat, is the fact that Neo just freaking shatters into a million pieces. And obviously, that's more of a physical illusion than Emerald. Like... It's an illusion, but I think it's an illusion that affects her and not necessarily the people that she's encountering. They still haven't clarified exactly what her semblance is. Like, we don't have the name of the semblance. Well, not really the name. Like, we see it for ourselves, but we don't have, like, a definitive, like, how does it work? Is it Neo's projected? Is Neo projecting this to others? Is it something that happens from herself? Etc., etc. So, and that's cool because we originally got the semblance during Volume 2, and the semblance was, it's really cool. Also, let me know if like the stream gets too crazy, because I know me putting up these high quality GIFs can cause the stream to hiccup a bit. Hey!
Just wanted to say that after working with you on past projects, I got
to
say,
dude,
you really got my creative juices flowing, and I think I finally know what direction I want to take with my channel.
Nice.
So thanks, and I look forward to future collabs.
Yes. So for those of you,
I have a little more to say.
Sure.
Can we confirm that Neo's eyes are different this volume? I thought they were the opposite of the hair color, like the small portions of the yin-yang. Also, can you find the frame with Neo's blade going for Cinder's throat?
I mean, all of these shots and images and frames are they're already in OBS, so I can't go out of my way to find that shot that you were mentioning. Okay, so first and foremost, for those of you who don't know, half and half, my friend Kevin, the person who just donated a few seconds ago, he and I put together... Oh, it's lagging? Okay, hold on. I'll take that off really quick. So he and I put together the... He and I collabed and put together the Salem Sacrifice AMV. We were going back and forth on images. We were going back and forth like starting points and ending points. And that video is the work of him and I. And we basically did the same thing on the video that you'll see on Monday. Oh, wait, there's still lag? Yikes. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Refresh. Refresh, guys. Or wait, I think I just can't have too many clips out at once. Okay. Yeah, the stream can't handle it. Feels bad, man. But yeah, so Kevin and I worked on the Salem Sacrifice video. I mentioned that in the description of my video, and we've been working all this week on going back and forth on videos and clips and images for the next video that we're working on. So I hope you guys like it. But yeah, dude, I'm really glad to hear that it got kind of things motivated and got the ball rolling for you and your channel. So I'm really happy about that. And for Josh, Neo's eyes being different, I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Like, can't really tell because I don't have a clear shot of her. Oh, hold on. If I go back, let me go back really quick. I think it could be because maybe like it's because like the outside, like her irises are the colors, and then the pupils are just black. Or maybe the eye. I don't think it's the eyeshadow because she had the eyeshadow in volume 3. She had green eyeshadow on. Oh, her eye. Yeah, and her eyes switch, by the way. She has, you know, the heterochromia, so her eyes switch from back and forth. Oh, no, I know her eyes switch. No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if Josh knew that or forgot that, but yeah, like, her eyes can switch places. Well, not her eyes, but the color of her eyes can change. And that might be when she uses her semblance. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not even entirely sure about that because I don't think she used her semblance at all. She didn't use her semblance at all when she fought Yang on the train. So yeah. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's what it was, her eye shading. But anyways, yeah, she has this shattering effect for her the shatter effect of her semblance, and I think it's she herself is doing that onto herself. It's like a self-illusion instead of an illusion that's projected off the minds of others, which is basically what Emerald does. So, and then again, the whole reason why that's even her semblance is because Monty didn't want to animate Torchwick and Neo getting on the airship at the end of the fight in Volume 2, Chapter 4. So he was like, yeah, I don't feel like animating that. Let's just make this cool shatter effect thing, and then when they look, they're already on the airship. So, that's basically how her semblance came to be, and now they're kind of building that up and playing up on that. Let's see. I think she really made Cinder's... Oh my god. I guess she really made Cinder's plans fall apart? Oh god. No. Just no. There's a time and a place for jokes, but that one wasn't really funny. Oh gosh. Hey, I mean, it works. Monty was all about, like, efficiency. Like, he was like, what's the point of animating that? I could just do something cool. Like, shattered glass, people are gonna be like, what the heck is that? And then in his head, it's like, look at that. I don't have to animate. People are interested, and we can make it into a semblance for her. So, you know, classic triple threat all across the board. So, I think that was really well done. So, another thing that I really liked, and this is probably going to break the stream, so I'm going to try to show it as well as I can. But basically, the block hit combo. So, she does this to Yang in Volume 2, and I noticed that she does it again to Cinder here. And I was like, oh, that was a nice touch. That was really good. And it just shows that the animators still are following up with her fighting style and the way that Neo fights. And I think it was really well portrayed because we haven't seen her in a really long time. Neo's death glare is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Oh boy. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I gotta refresh my end here. Okay. But yeah, so again, like it's just the subtleties of Neo, and we really only have Volume 2, Chapter 11 to go off of. You know, when it comes to Neo's fighting style and when it comes to just her overall animation, because yeah, we can take Volume 3, Chapter 11 in consideration, but that wasn't really a one-on-one, right? Like Roman was very much a part of that fight, and it really didn't capitalize Neo's fighting choreography like Volume 2. So I think side by side, I think this is very much on par with Monty's animation of Neo in Volume 2. I don't know if everyone would agree with that, but I think, in my opinion, it's either level or it's even, in my opinion, to an extent, I think it's even better than the Volume 2 animation. And it was done by a bunch of different people, a bunch of different hands. Melanie Stern, Joe Vick, Matt Drury, and Melanie Pelino. I think that's her last name. But those were the 4 animators that worked on the entirety of the animation fighting sequence with Neo versus Cinder. So I think the fighting is quite literally better than than what was put together by Monty during volume 2. And I think that's even better because it's like, that's like, we got very little of Neo in volume 2, we got very little of Neo in volume 3, and then she went away for 2.5 years, and now she's brought back, you know, better than ever.
Neo's fight with Cinder was cool. Still think they should have ended her character's involvement after volume 3.
I mean, you really can't do that. Like, you can't and I get it, like, there's too many characters in the show, but, like, I feel like at some point you gotta give them closure. Neo's the most popular character. I think Neo is the most popular character in the show. Very overrated, I would say, as well, but incredibly popular. A fan favorite by many, similar to Roman, and even though Roman wasn't supposed to be around beyond volume 2, they kept him around a little longer just because the fans loved him so much. So I think that them bringing Neo back is good. I don't want her to overstay her welcome. Like, if she's here just to get revenge on Roman and she dies in the process, that's understandable, because I don't think she's actually going to be like, oh, I'm going to kill Cinder, I'm going to kill everyone that got him, that got Roman killed. If she ends up dying trying to get revenge, I'm fine with that. If she ends up succeeding in her revenge, I don't know if that's really going to be great for her at the end of the day. But no, I think it's fine at the very least, because she's the remnants of Roman, right? She's, in essence, Monty made her because as a female version of Roman Torchwick. So I still think that it's good that we have her around. And we don't really know what her game plan is. We don't know if she's full. I doubt she's going like 100% in with helping Cinder. She's definitely gonna pull some schemes in terms of getting, you know, what she wants out of everything and just going along with the plan for the time being. Unpopular opinion. Now we've now would have won that fight. Neo would have won that fight if Cinder didn't have Fall Maiden powers. Also, that is. All your content's really helped me get through some life shit stuff right now. Okay. Some shit life stuff right now. Okay, I'm sorry. I had like a hiccup there, Adam. But first and foremost, I agree. I think this fight was very much even. I think Cinder is very much on par, or Neo's very much on par with Cinder when you take out the Fall Maiden powers. But at the same time, that's another reason Cinder probably wants powers, because she's like, if I don't have power, I'm average compared to these people. And yeah, and I think that was also Neo's first time seeing the Maiden. She was like, what the fuck? You know, she was like, I was doing well this entire time, and then you see Cinder like go off and start floating and using fire and stuff like that. So she probably realizes, okay, this is a completely different scale of power that I can't deal with. But yeah, for the most part, I think Neo could very well handle anybody in the group, with the exception of Cinder because of the Fall Maiden's powers. So yeah, I really liked this entire sequence right here. This was so good. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a thing, like with martial arts, or if it's a thing in general when it comes to fighting or fighting styles or stances. But like, is that a thing where people put their arm behind their back when they fight? Because that's what, like, once Neo did that, I was like, oh my god, she's literally just like finessing right now. She's just flexing at this point. But I see this a couple of times. Another character from an anime that I watch is well, an anime that I've seen someone do this is Rock Lee from Naruto. He puts his arm behind, like his whole stance is like he puts one arm behind his back and he has his other hand like this. And that's how he fights. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I don't know if there's a purpose to it. I don't know if they do that just because. I was trying to look it up earlier this week. I was like, is that a thing? Fencers do, yeah, fencers do that as well. But I'm wondering, like, is there a purpose? Is it like for precision? Is it balancing? You know? Cause she does it, like she puts her hand behind her back, cause she like gets attacks in and then she's able to like bob and weave with her arm behind her back. I guess it's a way of like, she doesn't have like unnecessary weight and movement on one side of her body. So it could be for the balancing act of like getting hits and also defending yourself. Or she's flexing and it's just that, you know, she's just taunting her opponent. But okay, keeps your weight centered. I think it's more of like it could be a balancing act. It could be to show off. It's any number of things, but I noticed that and I was like, I kind of like that. That looks kind of cool. And yeah, this whole exchange right here is incredible. And this, again, it demonstrates that Cinder's actually pretty capable without her maiden powers. You know, I think Volume 2 was the first time we saw her quote-unquote fight, right? She fought in the CCT against, like, the random, like, grunt soldiers, like the Atlas soldiers. So that was whatever. We saw her fight again during Volume 3 against I mean, even in the flashback, we saw her fight in the flashback in Volume 3. We saw her fight Pyrrha, but then again, she had the maiden powers. We haven't really seen her at a base level. She's always had the maiden's influence, even when the show started with Chapter 1. So, and she had, like, weapons, or she had dust to help her out. But now, it's literally just, like, her and, like, her natural capabilities. And as a hand-to-hand, like, for hand-to-hand, I was really impressed with Cinder's efforts. Aikido is a martial art based on dodging and counterattacking. I see Neo using that. Okay, I was unaware of that. So yeah, Neo versus Tyrion. I mean, I'm not gonna get into, like, what if fights at this point. But, like, in terms of this fight, I thought it was very, very even. Like, Cinder even mentioned, like, oh, Neo's gotten a bit stronger. Which I think that just means, like, you know, she hasn't lost her touch. If anything, it's been more refined from what we've seen. And I think that's why this fight's better than the Volume 2 fight. Because it's like, we're getting so much more. It's not a complete pummeling. She's not bodying Cinder. Whereas Yang had stood no chance whatsoever against Neo on the train. And I think that is a display of her initial feats. It's like, and in a way, I'm not really too impressed by the Volume 2 fight in that regard, because you gotta remember, Neo's fighting a student, a first-year Beacon Academy student. Regardless of how much they've hyped up the you know, RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang, you still gotta understand that, like, just because Yang is, like, the hothead and, you know, the one that burns and all that stuff, just because we have all that doesn't mean that automatically means she can fight anyone and anyone. And that's another thing too. It was a gap in experience, and Neo's has a lot of footwork, and that's Yang's weakness. So, and on top of that, Yang is just very inexperienced and hot-headed, and that was to her downfall. It was a detriment to her at the end of the day. So I think at the same time, it's really great to look at Neo in Volume 2 and think, wow, that's what she's able to do in general, and not be too impressed or too surprised by how Neo's voice actor sounds better this volume. Oh god, vexed. Yeah, so at this point, confirmed no voice actor for Neo, and I think that was for the best. Even if they had someone in mind during Volume 2, Volume 3, I'm glad that they just decided to go. First off, they don't have to pay anybody, and second of all, I think the fact that she doesn't talk plays a lot into her character. And the appeal of her character at this point. So, yeah, I feel like it's like the Kakashi symptom. Like, you go the entire series without showing his mask, you might as well just keep it off the entire until the show's done, and then show it off in, like, a you know, the light, you know, the Kakashi novel. Just because it's like that's a part of the character at that point, you know. So I do think Yang's weakness being exploited in Volume 2 made Neo shine a lot more. But even right now, I think this just reinforces, like, how well of a fighter she is, because now she's fighting someone who's more on her level. But yeah, I love this entire sequence. This entire sequence is just incredible. Oh my god, I just want to I literally just want to go to the episode and just watch it right now. Just like everything, like, that's Neo's whole style, is just like fighting, defending, deflecting, reflecting back attacks. But she's more offensive this time around, whereas in Volume 2, again, another aspect of her fighting style was that she was just redirecting all of the force, all of the momentum, all of the impacts and weight of Yang's attacks back at her, to where she didn't break a sweat, and Yang was, like, over there, like, panting and, you know, getting wrecked. So yeah, I really liked that. Here's another thing that I really liked, and again, little attention to detail when she gets knocked up, when she gets like kicked in the face by Cinder and they end up going on the bar. You see Neo jump in the air, but she jumps in the air and like opens her umbrella, cause like, you know, physics. The umbrella like makes it so she doesn't go like jumping super high, and then she flips and brings the umbrella back down so that way she can land gracefully. I really liked that. Going back, I was watching the episode at half speed on the RT site, and I was like, holy shit, like, it's so subtle because it's like, obviously, like, you see that and you think, oh, it's Mary Poppins, but the execution and how it happened was really well done. And again, like, her opening her umbrella when she's upside down makes sense because, you know, she could probably jump as high as she wants, and that kind of broke her, I guess, what would you call it? I guess it just broke the acceleration of her going upward. And I liked it, and she was just styling on Cinder the entire time. Cinder, in my opinion, was trying way too hard in this fight, and, yeah, momentum, there you go. I don't know if it's momentum or yeah, it's one or the other. Someone said momentum in the chat, and I'm like, I guess. What's the umbrella made of? We'll talk about that. We will definitely talk about that. But this was another great thing, too, environmental usage. And again, it was really cool seeing this, because initially when I'm watching it, like, when I first watched it, I was just like losing my shit. I was like, yo, this fight's so cool. It's crazy. I love how it looks and everything. And then you look and see how everything was executed. You see her hit the cup, hit the bowl, knock it up, flip her umbrella, hook it, and then throw it at Cinder. And then and then the heel of her boot knocks the other cup or the other ashtray up, and it was just so well done. It's like the detail was just all there, and I'm like super impressed by this animation, like by the entire fight sequence and the choreography and all the steps and beats that brought it together. But yeah, yeah, everything was just like the animation was smooth, nothing felt choppy, there was no floatiness. There was weight in everything. There was impact in everything. There was proper physics and movement. Like, everything just was really great in this fight. And I'm like so impressed by it because, you know, some of the fights in Volume 4 and 5 weren't as great as this, you know? So it's like, holy shit, like, we're there, you know, everybody at, you know, on the RWBY is improving and stepping their game up, and it's so great to see, you know? It's really great to see. And I think, again, so before this episode came out, I was just, whenever I thought about, like, Neo's return, I was like, that's a lot of fucking pressure. You are basically tasked with returning a very overhyped character, a hyped character nonetheless, but, you know, a character that has so much expectation behind them, so much, just that, so much expectation, and you don't want to fuck it up.
What is your opinion on the 2D effects in the fights? Also, I'm loving this volume. Thanks for your awesome content.
Thank you, Shadeless. The 2D effects on the fight, you mean like the white flares, like that happen? I think they're a bit much, like, going back, okay, hold on, where is it? It's this shot right here. So I put this in slow motion, but I guess in a way it makes sense for your question. But yeah, like, you see the white a little too much, like right there, like that's a little too much. Like the 2D effect cards are a bit much. Especially when you go back and like you're trying to like watch the fight at a slower pace. Some of them, like the ones that like pulse, those are good for like impact. But the slashing ones, I don't really feel like those were too necessary. I wouldn't say that they're quote-unquote distracting, right? It's not like I'm like sitting here and I'm like, oh man, I can't really appreciate this fight because it all happens so quick.
RWBY will reveal, in memory of Stan Lee, that Neo umbrella is made of vibranium.
Is that like indestructible vibranium? That'd be kind of cool. Like Neo's umbrella like has like so much sustain, it's incredible. But let's see, hold on, let me go back. Okay, so yeah. All right, so we already talked about that. Hold on, let me get through some of these. Kayla, thank you for the super chat. Nice to see you again in the chat, by the way. Let's see. Yo, I barely hopped on. Any theories of how Neo got there and how she might have survived? I mean, well, she had her umbrella. Alejandro? Yeah, Alejandro Flores. She had her umbrella, so the fact that she's just Mary Poppins her way off, she ended up going back to Beacon because she got Roman's hat. And that's probably when she found out that Roman was dead, right? Either his corpse was there. His corpse had to be there because he got eaten and then he got knocked, like he got eaten and then that Grimm got knocked into the airship and you can see like the smoke of the Grimm. And then on top of that, the inside of the ship was on fire and then the ship crashed. So if she found Roman's hat, she most likely found like what was left of him in that entire ordeal. I'm very surprised that the hat is still in one piece. I will say that. And I know they play that up in RWBY Chibi a bit as well, but yeah, I think she definitely went back to Beacon to find him, found out he was dead, and at that point she's probably just been doing like some light recon work. I do want to know, obviously we'll never find out for sure, but I would like to know what she's been up to since then. Obviously she made her way to Mistral somehow, so how did she know to go to Mistral? Was she basically tailing everybody and keeping a low profile? And like now that she has Cinder alone, she's gonna make her move. Also or, and I'm gonna talk about this in the episode as well, or Roman died and her and Roman are from Mistral, so she just decided to go back home. And then get information from Little Miss, and everything just worked in her favor at that point. I understand Little Miss being like an information broker, but I don't expect Little Miss to know everything that happens in the world. Like, I can understand if the kingdom's her territory, and within the kingdom, within the continent of Anima, she knows, everything, all the information through the grapevine. But I don't expect her to. I don't expect her to know what goes on in Vale or on Solitas or, any of the other continents. But yeah, I could definitely see her, like, at least her being on the continent makes sense if she's from Mistral to begin with. But anyways, like I said, we'll get to that. But yeah, I love this entire footwork scene here. Just the back and forth. It's just a lot of foot action, a lot of happy feet going on. We obviously know that that's how Neil fights. She's really like she uses her feet a lot more than like she obviously uses her umbrella and her feet to fight, and we saw that from her fight with Yang in Volume 2. And that's a big reason why Yang lost that fight, because she doesn't fight well. Her disadvantage or her weakness is kicking characters. So, again, this entire sequence here was just, I clipped this entire thing because I just thought it was really, really cool. And the choreography was well done. Like, from the hits to the dodging to, like, shit like that. Like, the camera work and just showing Neo smiling on camera. This entire thing was cool, too. Oh, man. It was all so smooth. And I really liked that part of Cinder. Like, she jumps off the chair. She does a flip kick. She like, pivots on one foot, does another one, and then once that comes down, she just turns that weight into a punch. And I loved how all the energy, none of the energy was wasted in the fight for them. Like, this sequence right here with Cinder is really, really great. And like right there, just was on one foot, and then turns around and just keeps all that momentum building up for that punch. I think that was really, really cool. And then, yeah, at that point, Neo's like, what the fuck did I get myself into? She's like Falcon punching me through the freaking coffee table. Oh, boy. Yeah, but I really liked how this fight turned out. And then, right there, Neo has her umbrella. She's like, yo, I'm cool. I'm good. Don't worry about me. And again, look at that. She has her hands behind her back again. And I think it's just to have, like, the precise bobbing and weaving. And then, like, the reflection of the fire in her eye, like, everything about this. Oh, I think this is definitively why this episode's so good. Like, this entire sequence, Neo's return, the choreography and everything, like, carries the chapter for the most part. I think that's why people hold it in such high esteem, because it's quality, you know? I love how Cinder just, like, pins Neo to the table with her foot, by the way. The combos are very fluid, really enjoyable to watch. The momentum of the fight is constantly shifting between the two. Just an excellent scene. Absolutely. I mean, I'm rambling over here, and you put it into words, into better and shorter words than I could. Neo has a parasol. She's classy. Oh, man. I loved this. I absolutely loved this. This is going to go down as, like, one of my favorite fights so far of the volume. I mean, and that's another thing, too. Like, I think another big reason why I love this fight so much is because it's an actual fight, right? Like, the first chapter of Volume 6, the entire sequence was cool, but you're fighting Grimm, right? You do some cool team attacks. You use Qrow is using his scythe finally. And like the synergy was more so my favorite parts of that fight. But in this one, it's an actual one-on-one between two competent fighters, and everything was utilized. The environment, and again, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I think that's another reason why I like this fight so much more. It's because we haven't gotten like a human person-to-person fight, I think, since like Tyrion versus Qrow. And that was in what, Volume 4, really. I mean, Cinder versus Raven was another thing, but that was like a fight in a different sense, because that was like a fight of like superpowers versus like a fight right here where it's very even and realistic, I guess I should say. So yeah, that's another reason why I hold this fight in such high regard. It was so fucking good. So good, man. Qrow, if any of you guys are watching this, or in general, you guys did an amazing job. I think that's like one of the best fights of the show. And yeah, let's talk about Neo's umbrella really quick, and how it just like defies, like it just cancels out everything. Unless it's like resistant to fire, because in both shots, that's what it's doing. It's deflecting Yang's like, shotgun shot, that's like a fire attack, and then it's deflecting fucking maiden magic that like predates the existence of everything in this world that they know of so far. And I'm just like, what the? Also, if you notice that I should have done it in slow motion, so you guys will have to check it whenever it pops up. But in the second shot, this shot right here, she's actually fanning the flame. If you go back and watch the episode and you watch it at half speed, she's actually twisting her umbrella right there, which puts out the flame, instead of it just hitting and it just, dispersing. Yeah, she's twirling her umbrella right there, which is, again, a good way, because that's how Qrow and RWBY do it too. Like, whenever they're getting hit with, like, fireballs or gunfire, they spin their scythes to kind of fan out the flame, essentially. So yeah, I won't just chalk it up to, oh my god, her umbrella's impervious to everything. There's a little bit of, like, subtlety there for, like, why that's the case. And, again, more attention to detail. I love it. And then the fucking hat! Yo, the hat! Oh my god, the hat. So, at this point, I don't know if you could consider this fan service or not. Because we've been getting fan art of Neo in Roman's hat since he died in Volume 3. And RWBY Chibi started after Volume 3, but Neo wasn't a part of Chibi until Season 2. And then they started playing up like Neo wearing his hat in Season 2. Neo and Torchwick, if I'm remembering it correctly, were featured in RWBY Chibi Season 2. So I'm wondering if you can consider this like kind of fan service, because this is happening after we've already experienced it. Either way, it's worth, and the people who did the fan art for it, like, obviously they had the right idea. And I think it just works, whether or not Rooster Teeth came up with this themselves or not, to have Neo with Torchwick's hat. I think it's necessary, and it shows that they obviously cared about each other. We obviously didn't know. She was in Season 1? Oh, she did? Okay. I vaguely remember Chibi, to be honest. I actually need to get back to finishing Season 2, and I haven't even started Season 3 yet. But, when did Torchwick come in, then? Did Torchwick come in Season 2? I'm mainly thinking about, like, any skits that they use Torchwick's hat. and like Neo had it, like, because I've seen a few moments or a few episodes. I think I saw the episode where like she's wearing his hat and she's like trying on Ruby's outfit, and then she's trying Weiss's outfit, and then she's trying Roman's outfit, and then she puts on his hat with his cane, and Roman's like, you show off. So, oh, they both, okay, so exactly. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut then because I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. I think the hat gag might have been in season 2 then. I'm not entirely sure, but anyways, yeah, either way, whether it's inspiration from the fan art or whether it's, you know, chibi inspired, or if it was always what they were planning on doing, I liked that she was wearing his hat. It A, confirms that Roman is dead, and B, establishes that there was a deeper connection between them two, be it brother and sister, be it boyfriend and girlfriend, be it just two people that understood each other, or people who grew up together, and I really, really like that. And yeah, this whole thing too kind of plays up the fact that she actually went back to the scene to get that hat. So again, just confirms that he's gone. The hat doesn't look good on her. Come on now. Come on now. What do you mean? Maybe not in her current outfit because the color scheme throws it off. Like it's a black and red hat with a pink, white, and brown design. So, but she does get battle damaged in this fight. She does get battle damaged in this fight, and I think that in turn is going to warrant a, costume, an outfit design change. So, with Roman's hat in mind with the new design. So, I think she's going to have a new outfit. Like, you can see her coat's tattered, her legging, her pants have, like, holes in them and whatnot. And yeah, so I think Neo's, because that was one of the things I mentioned during my reaction. I was like, oh man, they didn't give her a new outfit. That's unfortunate. But you know, hold on.
Hey Arnold.
Hey, what's up,
Just joined
Power?
the stream. Glad to see ya. I cheered loudly when I saw Neo for the first time since Volume 3.
Hell yeah.
My roommate thought the Seahawks had scored.
Oh jeez.
Happy discussion time.
You could have just told them, like, even, I mean, might as well. The Seahawks might have just scored then, if that's the case. But thank you very much for joining the stream, Pigeon Power. I appreciate the donation. Glad to have you back, bud. Let's see. Let me get through some of these super chats because I have been neglecting some of them for a bit. I hope we get a character short for Neo to answer about her past. Hearing her song, couldn't help but wonder if Roman was to her what Ren is to Nora, and if they have some sort of backstory. I like to play around with the idea, but at the same time, I don't think we need. I think it's really good to kind of just not have like open-ended questions to kind of come to our own conclusions, but that's not necessarily a bad thing if they don't explain that. Especially if they're subtle enough, especially with this chapter, I think they're subtle enough to kind of give us an idea of their history. I don't think they need to be like, okay, everything is going to be cut and dry, everything is going to get answered. I don't think there's anything really wrong with open-ended questions. And like I said, they still have a lot of time to flesh out Neo to an extent, so maybe we'll figure out more about that as time goes on. Let's see. Kayla! Acceleration is the force applied you give to give you momentum. Momentum is the energy you carry going into a given direction. Derp. Wanted to copy paste this for normal chat. Okay, thank you. I kind of have a better understanding of the two. I haven't freaking physics in high school, man. I vaguely remember any of that shit. Do you think we'll get remnant sign language this volume? I tweeted you about this. Miles got it to an RTX, maybe. Huh. I don't think so. Like, Neo, whenever Neo talks, I mean, unless we get, like, deaf characters, it would make sense. No, not deaf characters. What am I saying? Yeah, deaf characters. I'm like, going all crazy with my mind right now. Like, Neo doesn't talk, but we haven't really seen any deaf characters yet. I mean, it'd be cool. Like, Neo right now, she doesn't talk, so she does everything through text. If you guys remember in Volume 3, when RWBY landed on the airship, she texted to Roman, guess who? And with a picture of RWBY. So, I'm assuming that's how Neo just communicates with people through her scroll. But I mean, it would make sense if there's any deaf characters to implement like sign language, that's very obvious that would be a thing. If now will we see it, we'd have to get some, like, people assume that I mean, yeah, we'd have to have a character that would be able to kind of get that point across to the viewers. Yeah, a lot of people, well, someone just said it in the chat too. Yeah, a lot of people speculate that Fox Alistar is Alistair is blind. From Volume 2. A lot of people have that headcanon as of right now. Let's see. Tell that to Tifa Lockhart. Oh, wait. I don't realize the context. I'm sorry. Kayla, quick question. How do you get permission to your Discord? My Discord is private. It's open to my Patreon backers, my Twitch subscribers, and like personal friends and family. I do not want to have an open and public Discord because I do not want to have to manage, and it's basically that at that point it'd be a glorified like YouTube comments, and I can't handle that many people, and we don't have that many people compared to like public servers. But yeah, my Discord is private. It's open if you are a Patreon backer at the Beacon Academy student level or higher, if you're a Twitch subscriber, or if it's a friend or family member that I kind of want to keep in touch with. I give them access to the server as well. But yeah, that's to answer your question, Kayla. Hey, what's up, Adam? Don't have much to give, but here you go. But dude, I appreciate you just being here. You don't have to feel it. Don't feel like you have to give anything. Just you being here is enough. Just having people to talk about and to talk to about the chapter and converse is more than enough for me. Roman was wearing his hat when he was eaten. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, we will both do this together.
Okay. Oh, as I say that, someone subbed on Twitch. Yana LGW, thank you for subbing with Twitch Prime. Appreciate it. So Kayla, if you are a patron, it's patrons at the $5 level and higher, but if you are a patron and you don't have access, it's probably because you have to link your Discord account to your Patreon account, and you do that through Patreon's settings.
Is a new character who uses her cell phone notes to communicate with others. That's my personal headcanon for Neo.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, and we've seen her do that. Like, we've seen her communicate with Roman through her scroll, so it only makes sense that that's how she communicates with people in general. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Flint? What's going on, bud? Yo, props to you for getting out that the One Thing lyric video. For those of you guys who don't know, Flint of RWBY, he's in the chat right now. He does all of the RWBY lyric videos that you guys probably have seen from time to time on YouTube. And recently he gets all the official lyrics from Jeff Williams. He gets the official lyrics and the official song titles by Jeff Williams. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, he put up the video of the song that's featured in this chapter, which is, we actually didn't even talk about it. So it's actually good that you got here, Flint, because I can actually talk about it now. The song is called One Thing. And it's essentially Neo's theme. And it talks about, you know, getting revenge, and essentially the fact that Cinder and her cohorts indirectly got Roman killed, and Roman meant everything to her. Roman was her light, Roman was her life, Roman basically pulled her out of, like, the darkness, essentially. And now that he's gone, she's going to kind of exact revenge on the people that did that. So yeah, essentially, it's a very revenge, retribution style song for her. And we got a very light portion of that for this chapter, and I really can't wait to hear the whole thing. But if you haven't heard the song yet, go to Flint of RWBY, the YouTube channel, and it's there if you guys want to check out the early snippets of it. All of the lyrics are official. But yeah, Dom, hopefully you've had a good week. Hopefully you enjoyed the chapter. I know you just put out that lyric video as well, so props to you on that, my friend. But yeah, oh my god, the song went really well with the fight as well. And again, kind of confirms that Neo now has a theme song, which is another reason for people to look forward to the full version. Yo, the Volume 6 soundtrack, man. We have Lionized, we have Rising, we have Miracle, we have One Thing. I feel like I'm missing a song. Do we have... We got those 3. Yeah, we only have 4 songs now, right? I'm not missing one. Kill for Kill, Eye for Eye, Blood for Blood, It's Time to Die. Retribution is so sweet. Yeah, so we have 4 songs right now. We have the Adams theme song, we have the opening theme song, we have the Chapter 1 song, and we have Neo's song, essentially. And, like, goddamn, man, each one of them is great in their own respect, and I can't wait to, like, hear the full versions. I still think Miracle is the one I'm looking forward to the most. That's the song that plays in the Volume 1 fight. I'm sorry, the Chapter 1 fight. I don't know why I'm saying Volume 1. That's the song that plays in the Chapter 1 fight, the second half. You know, when they, on the train with the whole plans and whatnot. I think that's a really, really, really good song. From what I've heard so far. Miracle is the one I'm looking forward to hearing the most. But I think we probably have like another maybe 4 or 5 songs, like original songs, before, because then obviously they always do an acoustic version of a song and they always do like 1 or 2 remixes. So 4 songs confirmed so far. You know what I want them to do? I don't want them to give us every song in the show. Like, I don't want them to like feature every song in the volume before it's on the soundtrack. The best songs, I would say, the songs that I appreciated the most when the soundtracks came out, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, were the songs that we didn't really hear. I May Fall is my favorite. I May Fall and Wings are my favorite songs, but when I first listened to I May Fall in Volume 1, and I didn't watch the credits, so I didn't hear that song like at all when Volume 1 first came out. And I heard that song for the first time when I listened to the soundtrack, and I'm like, holy shit, I really love this song. And it's a treat because you're not expecting it, right? And like every other song you hear, it's like, okay, well, I already know that song's coming, but I just want to hear the full version now. Same thing with Volume 2. I think, what was Volume 2's? Shine was a really big surprise for me. Shine, Not Fall in Love, well, no, that's Volume 3. Shine, oh, no, Shine was played during the during the dance. It wasn't Shine. What was the other song by her? Like, it was Pyrrha's other song. Dream Come True. I think it was Dream Come True. That was another really big surprise because we didn't get it that entire volume. Boop! I think Boop was the biggest one. Boop was definitely the biggest one. Gold was another one. Oh my god, like, these are great songs that they just threw in there and surprised the fuck out of people. And I think Volume 4 and Volume 5, maybe not Volume 5, maybe not Volume 4, but definitely Volume 5, every song was featured in some way, shape, or form. Be it the opening song, be it the character shorts, or at some point in the show itself. Unless you know, Lucis Naturi was an exception, but Lucis Naturi was in the video game, so that's an exception. But yeah, there's a lot of good songs that I'm not saying like if they don't feature it, it'll be bad. I'm just saying like I like the surprise of just not knowing what to expect. Yeah.
I first listened to I May Fall during Velvet's fight in V3.
Oh boy.
It was so good.
Yo, I don't know how that's possible. I May Fall was the best song on the soundtrack in my opinion when it first came out. Like, that was my favorite song. Like, when I bought the Volume 1 soundtrack and I listened to all the songs for the first time, I was like, I May Fall is my favorite. Now it's Wings. Wings is my favorite song, like, above all of them. But, like, I May Fall was such a great song, and they didn't use it at all in the show. So the fact that they waited 2 more volumes and then put it in the sequence with Velvet, I thought that was super cool, because that was my favorite song from that far back, and it was super hyped for the scene, you know? So, yeah, I May Fall was so good. It's a Volume 1 throwback at this point. But I absolutely loved it. And, yeah, like I said, I'm rambling right now with the music portion of things, but I really liked the song. I'm glad that Neo actually has a song to her. Maybe the second half would be kind of cool, too, if they do something similar to, like, if they did something similar to, like, Red Like Roses. You know, like, how Red Like Roses is, like, a back and forth between, like, RWBY and Summer. It would be cool if the second half of this song is like a back and forth between like her and Roman, and like Jeff Williams voices the side that is Roman, and Casey voices the side that's Neo. That'd be so cool. That'd be nice. Cause like Roman's not gonna get a song for himself now, so we have to do something. We gotta give the man some type of cameo. But yeah, I think that'd be really neat. Red Like Roses Part 3, by the way, like when are we getting that? When are we getting an I Burn Part 2, for Christ's sake? I know some people want to say that, you know, Ignite is like I Burn, but it's not really I Burn Part 2. At the very least, they would have, you know, put that in parentheses, like this time. Like, this time is technically also considered From Shadows Part 2. But yeah, I love that. Also, this scene right here was pretty cool. I really liked this. If you notice, I clipped this really badly, unfortunately. But if you notice, when Cinder activates her maiden powers, the rocks on the floor levitate. I don't know why. I just thought that was really cool, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show that on the stream. I don't know if people will really care, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool to kind of illustrate, like, yo, maiden powers, maiden magic, this shit's crazy. So yeah, I'm liking the 2D wind effects. Yeah, like I clipped it wrong, so like every time it loops, that's the first thing you see. So it could be a little like iffy on the eyes. But yeah. Chelsea, hey, nice to see you again. Can't wait to watch your can't wait to react with you again. Much love, Arnold. Oh yeah, not a problem. DM me on Twitter, Chelsea, and I'll definitely do that. Yep, not a problem. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate you. Okay, so rocks aside, so overall, the fight was incredible. Neo coming back was amazing. And again, Neo has every right to look like this because this is the first time she's seen. I'm assuming, I'm gonna go on a limb here. First off, I don't think Roman or Neo knew anything about Salem, right? They answered to Cinder, and then Cinder answered to Salem. And I really think that these two, like, were literally just criminals in their own little bubble, in their own little world, getting into their own little shenanigans, being recruited in Mistral, by the way, because if you remember, in Volume 3, the flashback, she recruits Roman, she recruits Adam, and the White Fang is stationed in Mistral, and from what we know of Torchwick,
fairly recent sub.
He seems to be as well.
Patreon soon. Your RWBY videos / live streams have helped me enjoy the show a lot more.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm glad to hear that. Really happy to hear that. If it enriches your experience, then all the more. I'm really glad that you enjoy that. Thank you for subbing. I hope you enjoy all the content so far. And look forward to the next week because there's a lot more videos coming. But yeah, thank you so much, Manuel. I appreciate the donation, the kind words, the support, and hope you enjoy the future content. But yeah, like, what we can establish right now in this chapter, I'm going to talk about it, but in this chapter, Neo and Roman are from Brunswick Farms. They are from Mistral.
Yes,
the White Fang
both do this together. The
White Fang are in Mistral. The Nerd Trooper, thank you for subbing on Twitch with Twitch Prime, appreciate it. Most likely, Emerald and Mercury are also from Mistral, and then they converged to Vale, you know, for the whole relic thing. You know, for the maiden powers and the relics and stuff like that. I think that that's how it worked out a lot more. So they kind of were taken out of their world and thrown into something they weren't expecting or ready for, or really knew the grand extent of. And now that, you know, now Roman's dead as a result, and Neo wants revenge. So, and this is probably her first time seeing the maiden powers, and, you know, Cinder's probably going to get her caught up to speed with everything at this point. You know, explaining, like, okay, these are my maiden powers, this is who my boss is, this is why I want to kill RWBY, this is what's happened so far, etc., etc. Dashi!
Sorry,
my
I
gosh!
fell off the earth for a while, but hope
oh my
you're doing
goodness!
Well. I'm gonna try to come back with a yang, though. Okay, I'll let myself out.
Oh my god, I hope you've been well. My goodness, I haven't seen you in so long. I hope you've been well. Hope you've been enjoying RWBY so far. But yeah, it's been a while. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you for the donation. Glad to see you in the stream. My God. It's just been a while. Wow. Yeah, the Discord's always open. We're always there. We're always talking about stuff, getting into shenanigans, watching things, just chilling, doing our own thing. Hopefully, you can tune into that, and, hope you've been well. Also, shitty pun. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see. So yeah, like, this is her expression after seeing the maiden powers. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the hell is all this nonsense? And then the confirmation that she's a mute, she's like, all right, let's talk. And she's like, hello? She's like, right. I didn't pick that up on my reaction. You guys will probably notice that. I thought she was like, oh, you want to talk to me? But she was actually pointing to her mouth like, let's talk. Also, my reaction, I took the subtitles off, so that's probably why I didn't pick up on what she was actually saying, because I was losing my goddamn mind. So yeah, yeah, confirmed mute, which is, it's good that we're actually getting that confirmed, so we don't have to worry about Neo dropping any words, you know, and ruining her character for people. So yeah, Neo confirmed mute. And with that, we get into the second half of the episode. And can I just say really quick, the first thing I noticed was, like, from the gate, from Team RWBY and Company at the gate at the end of Chapter 4 to them reaching the door at the beginning of Chapter 5, the fucking blizzard, like, the laws of nature just, like, flipped on its head. You would have thought a maiden just showed up with the change in weather, like, instantaneously. I'm like, I don't know. You know, I'm just like, okay, like, the change in weather was almost abrupt. If you watch scene to scene, like, if you finished, like, them reaching Brunswick and then you cut immediately to this top scene here, it's like, I don't think that should be like that. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll chalk that up to a minor continuity error. But yeah, then again, storms pick up. You never know. Like, I remember one day I was, like, walking down the street and it just started raining out of nowhere. And it rained for, like, 15 seconds and then the rain disappeared. Like, and then it stopped. But it wasn't, like, hailing, like, freaking in winds and stuff like that. So it was a little different than this. It was more subtle, but it was just like a random rain cloud, basically. So, Ohio? You've obviously never been to Canada. Yeah, I've never been to Canada. I mean, I'm not saying that things like that, like weather immediacy isn't a thing, and I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying for how they set it up, showing us the episode like this, and then showing them walking 50 feet and getting to the door, and it looks like that. I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? You would think that they were outside for hours trying to get that door open. When all Qrow had to do is just kick in the front door. So yeah. I mean, that could very well be the case, but it wouldn't make sense either because Qrow did his rounds after they got in the house. So, you know, who knows? Arnold, hopefully I can catch you in the bonfire one day. Oh yeah, Fat Man just gave me access to his server. I used to be in his server before. I don't know why I wasn't in. I think I left it initially, but yeah, I'm back in there now. So, and I remember I was talking to you guys like last week, I think it was, with you were in there with like you, Raymond, Fat Man, and Tom. They were playing Persona 5. Yeah, I remember that now. So yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely be around. But yeah, okay, so anyways, back on track. The Ice Queen is cold? What is this? You guys want to talk about a continuity error? Let's get into this really quick. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, come on, man. The Ice Queen cold in 2018? Come on. I just thought that was really funny. It's like, you know, she's the Ice Queen. She's the Snow Angel. She's in her natural element, and now she's cold. And she has leggings on and a scarf. She's way better than anybody else, honestly. And everybody else, like, Blake is just like, you know, my midriff is already, like, frostbitten. Oh my god. Yeah, I just thought that that was interesting. Like, Weiss is the one that's the most prepared for the weather. And she has the title of Ice Queen, Snow Angel. You know, she's Snow White, all this stuff. She has, like, ice, like, dust and stuff like that. And, yeah. And she's the one that's, like, freezing. I'm just like, come on, Weiss. But, yeah. I liked this. I thought it was still pretty cool. Like, she's like... that's, like, that's the thing I took away from the scene. I was like, she's cold? What? But nah. Stop calling me by my name. Oh yeah, your name's the Ice Queen in the chat. That's cool. Let's see. Alright. So, oh! I completely forgot I grabbed this. This was a really funny shot. You have everybody, like, armed to the teeth, rushing in that, like, bum rushing the house in case anyone's in there. And then you got Oscar, like... I have this stick, and I'm not afraid to use it. And I'm just like, Oscar, you poor child. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, you whacked the Grimm with that thing. You hit, like Hazel with that. It really, like, he's just too much of a small boy. He really can't do much with the stick for it to, and he doesn't really know what it's capable of. Like, Ozpin and it suggested that it has a bunch of tricks up its sleeve. Like, obviously, Oscar doesn't know that. But yeah, I just found this scene to be really funny. He's just like, he's a small summer farm boy doing the best that he can, essentially. And we love him for it. And he just got punched in the face by a grown man, so cut the kid some slack, will ya? But yeah, I found this to be a really funny moment. And just like everything, the facial expressions, the way that he's holding the stick, like above his torso. It's the typical, like, scaredy cat, but they're still gonna try to do something to protect themselves and you know, come off as brave. So, you know, we love him. We love him for it. We love you, Oscar. Good stuff. Oh, in this part, too, I was like, what the fuck, Maria? She's like, close the door already. It's cold enough in here as it is, which, initially, I didn't think about it, because I was just like, that makes no sense. But she's blind. So the fact that she doesn't know, she thinks she's in the house, and she thinks, like, the wind blowing, and she was outside when she said that, and everyone else just looks at her like, all right, lady, can you get in the house so we can close the door? You know, it's because that's the first thing I said. I was like, why the hell would she say that? Like, that makes no sense. But yeah, it's because she's blind.
He subscribed to you earlier. It's pronounced Yanel GW.
Oh, Yanel.
By the way,
okay.
I absolutely love your live discussions and managed to convert my sister and her fiance to watching the show religiously. Also, Oscar made me laugh.
One
Best
of us.
wishes.
One of us. Can we get some one of us's in the chat for Yanel's sister and her fiance? They are now watching RWBY. We did it, Reddit. We did it. Go tell Reddit we did it, by the way. Oh boy, that's really great. I love hearing people, like, getting into RWBY. A lot of people, I've gotten, like, a lot of messages over the last couple of years of people who are like, you know, I never really watched the show, and I started watching your reactions, and then that's what got me into watching the show. So I love just hearing how people get into RWBY. If it's not conventional, like, if it's not like, oh, I was a Rooster Teeth fan before RWBY started, or something like that, it's always cool to just hear or see how people get into the show. Yeah, especially if the show's already ongoing or if it's already started. Like, obviously, recommendations are one thing, but, yeah, that's really nice. Hopefully they're enjoying it. Oscar made me laugh. Best wishes. Thank you again for subscribing, and also for the donation. I appreciate it. Glad to know that you love the discussions. And that's why I'm going to keep doing them. I love making them too, but I'm really glad that people just enjoy watching these every week. And I don't feel like an idiot, or I don't feel crazy for rambling every week for 2 to 5 hours long on the RWBY goodness. So I do appreciate all of you guys, especially, not just the people who go out of their way to tell me, but, like, for you guys, for whatever you guys are doing, whether you guys are at work right now, whether you guys are, like, studying and doing homework or chores, or you have nothing better to do, or, you know, if this is the highlight of your week or if this is something that you look forward to, if you don't have people to talk about RWBY in your life, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here to share that with you guys, because Volume 1 and 2 were the dark times for me. Like, that was my life. Like, I was just watching RWBY in my own little bubble, didn't know about the community at the time, and, you know, look at where we are now, like 1,200 people in the chat freaking hyping up and geeking out about the chapter. Love it. So yeah, I absolutely thank you guys, especially for being a part of my experience as much as I am a part of yours. Flipper, can't unsee Weiss's crazy eyes. Yeah, the reason why it looked like that was because I screen capped it at the wrong time. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't think it was naturally looking like that. I think I grabbed it in the middle of her animation. So I think that's why the eyes look a little messed up there, Flipper. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, so again, Maria's blind. There's the whole point, the whole reason why she said that. And in my head, I was like, it makes no sense. Why the hell is she saying that? It makes no sense. And it didn't click until after I rewatched the episode. I was like, oh, she's not defenseless. She's just blind without her eyes that are in desperate need of repair. So that was an oversight for me. And it also goes into the fact of why I really liked the subtitles, using the subtitles, because if I couldn't hear something, at least I could read it. But again, if anyone at Rooster Teeth, if you're watching this, please talk to somebody on the team, on the tech team, on the site team or something. The subtitles show up way too early. The subtitles show up before the characters even say their lines. It's just the subtitles are out of sync with what's happening, and I can't use the subtitles because I read what happens before they say it. So yeah, if like I love the fact that they put subtitles in, because that was one of the key features that people requested and were talking about, but they just need to like put it back by like half a second, like a second, half a second, test it out and make sure that it works, because like I don't know about you guys, but there are a lot of times that I use subtitles even for shows that are in English. Like, I just like reading what I'm hearing. I don't know why, I just do. And obviously the whole subtitle thing, if you're watching a subbed anime, that's understandable because you can't, unless you know the language, you're not going to know it. But yeah, like, please fix the subtitles. Like, that's like the one thing that I really liked about them, is that if I couldn't hear something because I'm going crazy, at least I can read it on screen, so that way everyone and their mother doesn't tell me in the reaction, hey, you missed them saying this. It's a peace of mind for me as well. So yeah, hopefully they'll fix that. I'll probably tweet at I think it's, I forgot who it is who's on the tech team, but basically the tech team, I'll tweet at them and I'll be like, look, we love the effort of the subtitles, but they need to be tweaked. So yeah. And with all that said, so basically they get into the house, they kind of survey the area, all that stuff, and we get this picture here. And this is why I'm saying that this is a Roman and Neo episode. They gave us Neo in the first half, and they basically, through this picture and little bits of context here and there, confirm that so here's my thing. This is going to be a video on this on Saturday, but basically, I think that the kid, I don't think the adult, I think these are all different families. This is basically a community photo of the farm. You got all of these different families. Actually, let me take off this top picture so I can kind of illustrate my point a little better. So you got this family, you got this family, you got this family, and then you got these guys, whatever. And I think all of them live in the different houses, and all of them live on the farm. And it's basically like a farm community. Like, they all live together, they all know each other, they work, you know, and they kind of sustain themselves as farmers. And none of these people, I don't think any of these people are related, but because they live together, they're essentially family in the closest way possible. I think the little boy right here is Roman, and I think the little girl right here is Neo. And obviously I'll go a little bit more in depth in the video, but I think, and I mentioned this at the end of the reaction, because I go back and I'm like, wait, I have to go back to the photo and talk about it. I think what happens is everybody here dies, and that traumatic experience is why Neo doesn't talk. She's so young at the time, too. And, you know, obviously of everyone dying, the kids survive, and they grow up to who we know as Roman, Torchwick, and Neo. and they have to survive, so they go into the criminal world. You know, criminals and gangs, like, obviously they always want to recruit people early. You know, the younger the better. They're more malleable, they're more influential, you know, they're more malleable and they're more impressionable. And they, you know, they get brought up into the criminal life, and that's how they survive. And I think that works. I think that works into why that's the case. And again, it plays into this still being about Roman, even though Roman's dead. Neo in the first half, you can't have one without the other. So at the very least, they subtly mention, hey, this farm, Brunswick Farms, Torchwick Farms. So when Torchwick leaves, he changes his last name. Or, yeah, he changes his last name to Torchwick, but he still has the Wick part in there as, like, the remnants of his past. And, you know, he takes care of Neo. And then shit hits the fan in Volume 3, and that's why we're here now. So yeah, I do think that is and here's another thing too. You know how semblances are like, what did he say? What did Ren say? He was like, in Volume 5, he was like, some say that your personality can define your semblance, while some people say it's the other way around. So imagine that. Neo shatters into a million pieces because that's her mindset. Like, that's what caused her to go mute. The trauma, the shattering trauma of, like, seeing her family and her whole life be taken away to the point where she doesn't even talk. And that, in essence, is why it's reflected. Her mental state is reflective in her semblance and how it works. It's like it shatters. So yeah, I think that's how that's supposed to be portrayed. Well, again, that wasn't the initial plan. That's not how her semblance was originally supposed. Like I said, Monty made her semblance as a way of getting through, you know, getting around animation, but they weaved it in to make it make sense for Neo. So yeah, it's really depressing. It's really, like, it's deep, it's depressing, and it makes it even worse now because, like, she literally has nobody. And if this is true, then that means Team RWBY and company is at her house right now, or where she lived. I hope we get to go to more of the houses, because this seems to be the house of this family right here, Neo's family. So they're in Neo's house right now, and the mother and the father were the ones that were dead in the bed, which is the next shot right here. Yeah, so the mother and the father are the ones that are dead in the bed. You can tell too because of the hat, the hat that's right there. Man, freaking Torchwick's family, a family of hat people, I tell you. Well, the community, like, the guy was wearing a farmer's hat, and then Roman wears a hat as well now. You got the ladies wearing bonnets. You got the old man wearing a hat. You got the guy on the far right. You got the freaking Red Dead Redemption looking guy on the corner, like, they're using a hat. He actually looks like a hunter from Bloodborne. But yeah, that's my theory. That's what I think. I think Roman and Neo were born here, were raised here. The Grimm that's underneath the wine cellar. Here's another thing. Oh my god, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the Grimm in the wine cellar and how that all kind of comes together. All right? And how I think these people were gambling. Like, I think these people were gambling with their lives. They just didn't realize it at the time. But anyways, that's my theory. I think Roman and Neo were both from Brunswick Farms, and once shit hit the fan, they got the hell up out of there. They were recruited into the criminal life of Mistral. And, you know, that's what led to their life until we got introduced to them in Volume 2. So, well, Neo in Volume 2, Roman in Volume 1. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm going to try to make a video on that and get that out before, before my reaction comes out. Because Chapter 6 could either confirm or deny this theory, and I want to try to get that out before then. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little taste test if you guys are here live for my theory on that. Let's see, how long have the bodies been there? Bodies take a while to decompose in the cold. Well, the thing is, these bodies look somewhat mummified. So it seems like the bodies are preserved at this point. So at this point, they could have been here for way longer than, like, they could be there for just as long. You know what I mean? Because, like, if it was at this point, they should be, like, skeletal by this point. Even if, like, depending on when they died. But, like, this place looks abandoned. So, and it just depends on how long, but if the theory adds up, then it would make sense if all of these people died in their beds and they're somewhat preserved and they live in a really cold part of Mistral, it makes sense that the cold would play into why their bodies are preserved instead of decaying and being decomposed. But yeah, the milk on the table. Oh shit, is that a glass of milk? Holy shit, I didn't even notice that. Hold on, let me see if I can blow this picture up really quick. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh no, it's just a regular cup. Just a regular cup. Just a mug. Yeah, it's just a regular mug. Huh. However, now that that mug is there, that kind of plays into what I was going to say. But yeah, like I said, I'll mention the wine cellar and all that in a little bit. So, moving on from there. So really quick, my stream is going to definitely freeze from this. Oh, I'm sorry. Shades McGee with the $50 super chat. I'm sorry. I fucking rambled, so I didn't even realize that it kind of went beyond me for the super chat. I appreciate it. Completely irrelevant and will draw mixed reactions, but I am tempted to make a RWBY shitpost involving Oscar... Oh, God. Oscar Ospin and Chris Hansen. Let's stop right there. Monka TOS. Let's stop. Where's the guy? Where's the gif of the guy? It's like, it's time to stop. Like, we're going down a slippery slope right now. I'm not trying to do this. Also, my earlier post just wanted to add to the lore of those characters could have changed to fit the show and World of Remnant. Okay. Filthy Frank, is that him? I don't know who that guy is. I just know him for like the clock and like the it's time to stop. Where the fuck are your parents, etc., etc. So yeah. Thank you for the $50 super chat, Shades McGee. I appreciate you for that very much. Super generous. Really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, and also, this whole freaking place is a reference to Sleepy Hollow, like Sleepy Hollow and everything else. But yeah, anyways, can we talk about how lit this chapter was? You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about right now, but I mean, like, it's lit, fam. Like, it's fire. It's lit, fam. It's fire. That's all I'm just gonna keep saying that over and over. So I recognize this fire. The fire in the bottom right is from the chapter. I really hope my stream doesn't break from this. But yeah. It's time to stop. Wait, hold on. Is my stream good? I feel like my stream is gonna break. But yeah, so the bottom right is the fire from chapter 6. The bottom left is volume 5. Top right is volume 4. Top right's volume 4. Top left is volume 2. So Rooster Teeth has definitely upped their game when it comes to the fire and the fire animation and the lighting. You know, you guys know how much of a slut I am for lighting. Oh, by the way, so I just wanted to feature that quick fire reference or mention. By the way, completely forgot to mention this. Whoever did this scene, I fucking love you, by the way. You know how I mentioned that I'm a slut for lighting? The light rays on the window, like coming in from the window, both windows, the one that we see and the one that's off to the side, I really appreciated that, because when you see this scene, like when you actually see them, like it pans closer to the bed, you can see like the dust particles like floating in the air through the light beams. So I love lighting, like I'll always praise it, and I really liked seeing that. I thought that was really, really well done. I wanted to make a GIF of this just to kind of illustrate my point, but yeah, for the most part, that's all I wanted to kind of mention. I figured I could just do it in the form of a screen grab. Let's see, praise the sun. But yeah, hold on, let me close this. So yeah, so this is the volume 2 fire. This was the fire of Mountain Glen. Mommy issues.
If your theory Torchwick theory is true, Roman's mom is pink/purple hair and so does Neo. The Oedipus complexes sting.
Woohoo! Boy. Oh my goodness. Roman's mom has pink hair wait, what? Hold on. Let me go back to this really quick. Hold on, let me blow up this picture really quick to kind of illustrate that. So Neo, I think everyone here just has brown hair. I think Neo's hair is probably just like, maybe she just dyes it. Maybe that's just her thing. You know what I mean? They could be cousins because the mother of Roman looks very similar to the mother of Neo. So, oh my god, we're getting into some family tree shit right now. Okay, so Roman's mother is Neo's sister? Which would make them cousins, right? I'm trying to make... Okay, so Neo's mother and father, and then the boy and the girl on the side, I'm assuming are the siblings, and the third sibling could definitely be the woman that's with the red-haired guy on the side, which would be the sister of Neo, which then would make her and Roman cousins, right? Oh no, aunt, not sister. Wait, I'm confused. Fuck. Do I mean aunt? Yeah, his mom is Neo's aunt. Okay, yeah. But wait. Why couldn't it be his sister? And then she just had a kid with this guy and gave birth to Roman. I'm so bad with freaking family trees, man. Also, rip to everyone's ship at this point. The little girl's eyes are the same color. Well, again, that could play into the semblance. The semblance could be a change in that as well. Let's see. That makes them cousins. Then Neo would be Roman's... Oh my god! I'm confused! Okay, I need to pull up... I didn't do enough, like, of the family tree thing to kind of put everything together. But if the lady that's next to this big... Like, if the lady next to the tall redhead guy, Roman's dad, is the daughter of this family over here, like the middle family, I literally feel like I'm like... I feel like I'm going crazy right now. I don't know why I don't know this. So Roman's mom would be the daughter of the guy and the girl, like the mother and the father who died, like the guy with the straw hat and the woman next to him. If that was Neo's sister, wouldn't that make them cousins? I don't know. I'm wasting time at this point. I'm gonna flush it out in the review. I'm gonna flush it out in the video. But yeah, let's just let's move on. But yeah, long story short, Volume 2 Fire, pretty primitive. I mean, for its time, it was good for its time. Volume 3, like, holy shit, like, look at that dynamic effect. Look at those particles. Look at all that awesomeness. Volume 4, it's like, yo, we love making fires so much, let's burn the whole fucking house down. And Volume 6, it's like, let's just... Is that like a 2D effect? It looks almost like a 2D flame. But yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Wait, if the lady behind Neo is Neo's mom and the lady behind Roman is Roman's mom, that would make the mom's sisters. Okay, alright, thank you, Dom. I'm fucking stupid. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna screen cap that response you just gave me, just so I can keep that in mind. My god, man. Fam tree. Okay. I just screen saved your response. Thank you. Thank you, Dom. Appreciate it. I'm stupid, by the way. I don't know family trees. Okay. That would make them cousins, though, right? Still? That would make Neo Roman's mom's aunt. Yeah, so they're like aunts to the opposite person. Okay, there we go. Cousins confirmed. Let's go. Anyways, thank you guys for helping me through that. Jesus Christ. First cousins, yeah. Like, if you get into, like, second, third cousins, you're gonna lose me. So let's just leave it at that. The lady in the bonnet is Neil's mom. Roman's mom is the sister. They are first cousins. Yes, we got that. Thank you, Lala Jones. Appreciate it. Oh, my God. Okay, so... And then, like, right there, you can see in the top image, they have, like, a family portrait. So that kind of, again, plays into the fact that that's Neo's family, and all of these families are actually different. And it would make sense that this is Neo's house, considering they have family photos. Like, you see Neo with her brother and her sister. It's so depressing, man, when you say that. It's so depressing when you say, like, Neo had a sister, a mother, a father, a brother, and a sister. And she had a little... Oh, my God. Okay, I need to find the shot. Actually, I need to go... I'm not going to go back, but she's got this little... If you go back to the episode, you'll see a couple pictures where she has it. But she's got this little doll... And her doll is white, pink, and brown. Like the color design of the doll's like in a dress. It's in the same color design of what eventually becomes Neo's color scheme, like Neo's outfit. So I think that is super cool too. Like that Neo based her outfit or like her current style off the show the doll. Okay, hold on. I need to go back. I don't know if I have an image of it. Hold on, give me a second. Where are you? Nope, that's the dead bodies. Okay, right here. So this is one of the images. Hold on. There's another one that's way better, but it's her in a picture. Hold on, let me see if I can blow this image up a little bit. I'm on OBS, so you gotta bear with me here. Hold on, let me bring this in a little bit more. A little bit more. So it's pink and white and like brown shoes and the hair also. I'm not entirely sure. You could there's a better shot of it in the there's a better shot of it in a picture she has the doll in one of the other shots. I can't enhance on OBS. Yeah, unfortunately, OBS is pretty limiting when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah. But yeah, like her dress, her doll, like it's pink and white and brown, and that's essentially what her whole outfit design is based around. So I think that's, again, depressing for sure. But again, it adds a little bit more credence to the theory overall. Let's see. Look closer at her eyes. You can't really tell the eye colors because A, the room is dark and the picture's washed out. So, like, you can look at them and obviously you could be like, oh, that's not the right eye color, but you also have to realize, A, the room isn't lit. It's not lit, fam. And the picture's washed out. It's an old picture from years and years ago. So, yeah. But yeah, so this scene right here was pretty, like, obviously, like, I think this is the first time Weiss has ever seen a body, like an actual corpse, which is, it's not really surprising. Ah, my water. Ugh, dropped my cap. It's not really surprising, right? Obviously, it was going to happen sooner or later. Grimm are an exception, right? Grimm aren't seen as people. They don't have souls. You don't got to feel bad about killing them because their only intent is killing you and your kind. So, the fact that she's on... I feel like it's going to be a billion times worse for RWBY if RWBY ever ends up killing somebody. Just because it's like, that innocence leaves you. Like, a part of it leaves you when you witness death, but it's an entire different concept when the blood's on your hands. So, let's just pray to God that no one has to kill anybody in this show. At least none of the students. I mean, if it happens, it happens. It's gonna happen. I'm expecting it to happen. And that'll, in turn, give character growth. And maturity and reflection and all that other stuff. And stuff like this, like traumatic moments or emotional moments that you can be like, oh man, you feel for the character. So, it's not necessarily bad. So yeah, and I like how Blake's comforting her, because Blake has a lot of cleaning up to do, right? She has a lot to do in general with, like, touching base with her team. Weiss seems to be a little bit more understanding about Blake's, Blake leaving. You know, she's not as upset about it as Yang, obviously. But I still think it was great that Blake was the one that was there. Like, okay, let me comfort you. Also, I have some work to do on kind of patching things up with everybody. Yang's just the one that's being a little bit more abrasive about it, or apprehensive about kind of clearing the air with everything for her. But yeah, RWBY saw the huntsman die and she... Oh yeah, okay. I'll give you that. Weiss wasn't there though, so maybe this is Weiss's first time seeing that. RWBY saw Pyrrha die. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, for RWBY, like, just because she's seen people die, it doesn't mean, like, it's been any easier. I don't think it's any easier for her to be like, oh, people come and people go. It's just how life is, you know what I mean? Like, she's the youngest of the group, too, and I feel like if she kills somebody, that's going to be a completely different story. You know? Weiss, I think this is Weiss's first time actually seeing dead bodies. Like, mummified, like, corpses, you know? When she probably wasn't expecting it, you know? And again, like I said, I like that Blake was there to kind of keep her going. I liked this, by the way. I don't know if anyone really noticed or appreciates this, but the fact that Qrow is wiping the snow off of him after coming outside, from coming inside, and the snow is melting, like, in real time, because the room's warm. The room's warm, there's a fire going. I really liked this. I was like, oh my god, the snow is actually melting. And you can see it. The only thing is, like, if you see the first clump of snow on the floor, it immediately turns into a puddle of water. And I was just like, I noticed that, actually. I just noticed that now. And I'm like, okay, that was a little much. But, like, just the snow being there and it slowly disappearing, that's a nice little detail that I appreciate a lot. And you know why we have to appreciate these details? It's because Volume 3 didn't, like, the first 3 volumes didn't really have detail, right? The Maya engine wasn't really something that was there for the sake of, like, you know, scale and detail and things of that nature. It was really just a software that they were able to use and push to its limits to kind of replicate animation. And so, like, Maya, that's an industry standard. So when you see all these details for the first time, when you see, like, individual strands of grass, when you see the individual strands of hair on characters' faces, or when you see, you know, the soot and the cinders and the embers coming off of a fire, or when you see ice melting on the floor, like, it's really... Did I say... Yeah, I meant Poser. Sorry. What did I say? Oh, yeah, I said Maya. My bad. I meant Poser. I'm dumb. They used Poser and Maya in volume, like, in the volume 1 through 3 days, but yeah, like, Poser's what I meant. I'm sorry. So yeah, whenever I see things like this, I'm just really, really happy to see it, because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's more and more realistic, it's more and more lifelike, it's more immersive. I like it. So yeah, shout out to Qrow brushing off snow off of his person and it melting on the floor in a warm room. Very nice detail. And so RWBY became Day 5, for those of you guys who don't know. RWBY Day 5 crossover confirmed. RWBY is 16, by the way. Everyone's in the chat, like, hopped up about that. As of right now, RWBY is 16 years old. It has been a year since the fall of Beacon. I'm not going to go down the breakdown list, but I've done the math, and a year has passed at this point. RWBY was 16. RWBY was 15 at the beginning of Volume 1. A year has passed at this point. She is now 16 at the beginning. Well, at this point in Volume... I mean, she was 16 in Volume 4. No, she was 16 in Volume 5. Miles and Carrie and them have already confirmed that she's 16. But yeah, why, did somebody say that in the chat? I know I didn't say that. Like, I know how old RWBY is. Yeah, RWBY is not 17. She's probably, like, going on 17 at the... Well, she is going on 17 at this point. Yet, Lindsay said... When did Lindsay say that RWBY is 17 years old? I mean, if you give me a source... In the most recent Achievement Hunter Let's Play... Oh, dear. Oh boy. I will take that with a grain of salt. Because if she says that and people latch onto that, that's going to cause... That would mean 2 years in the show has passed. Or a year and a half, or at least up to the point where RWBY was 15 in Volume 1 to where she's 17 in Volume 5. That just doesn't make sense. Anyways, let's move on. Anyways, Day 5 confirmed for RWBY Volume 6.
Little late, sorry. How do you think they will work Roman and Neo's backstory into this? It seems the group won't have time to explore with this Freddy Krueger Grimm getting up into their business, or will it be left up to our interpretation?
Freddy Krueger. I already kind of vastly talked about the correlation of Roman and Neo and their backstory and everything. Basically, my theory and a little bit of evidence suggests that Neo was featured in the first half of the chapter, and Roman and Neo were kind of featured in the second half with this moment of Brunswick Farms. From the picture, the family picture, if you noticed, Neo and Roman, I assume, are both from Brunswick Farms. Brunswick is also a reference to the Sleepy Hollows and the Headless Horseman. And the Headless Horseman goes around with like a jack-o'-lantern for a head. And Roman's emblem is a jack-o'-lantern as well. So I think this subtly mentioned... I think this episode was a subtle mention of Roman and Neo's backstory in a way that they're not going to throw it in our face. But they just put the puzzles right there, and it's up to us to put it together. So yeah. All right, guys, let's move on from what RWBY's age is. We can argue about that in the next Q&A that Rooster Teeth does, where we can officially ask them. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. Anyways, yeah, Day 5 confirmed. So if you guys haven't seen if you guys are Rooster Teeth First members and you have not seen Day 5 by Rooster Teeth right now, you need to change that. Personally, I think Day 5 is the best thing Rooster Teeth has ever made. Period. It is their post-apocalyptic. It almost feels like a movie, but it's not. It's like a long run. It's almost like a long-running TV series. It's Rooster Teeth's post-apocalyptic series on the end of the world as we know it, where a unknown, not virus, but an unknown phenomenon has happened where if you fall asleep, you die. And yeah, that's the basic premise of it. There is a really great like cat and mouse. There's a lot of cat and mouse moments in the movie. I say a movie, but it's not a movie. It's getting a third season next year. But it feels like a movie. When you watch it, it feels like you're watching a movie. It doesn't feel like you're watching a episodic series, which is why I'm probably going to keep calling it a movie, even though it's not a movie. But anyways, the movie, it's really well paced. It sets up a lot of mystery and a lot of questions right off the bat, and that's I think what keeps you going. Obviously, it's Rooster Teeth produced, so you get a lot of cameos of like Chris Damaris, Gavin Free, Barbara Dunkelman, Joel's in there a lot too. And it's just a really great work. I think it's Rooster Teeth's best work that they've ever made. I think Day 5 is like the peak, or like it's basically like the top tier Rooster Teeth production. Like when you look at Rooster Teeth, you look at Day 5, and that's them as a company, as an entity, as a creative. And yeah, I really, really, really like it. How long have I been live? 2 hours and 6 minutes as of right now. So we probably have at least another hour to go before we wrap up, because you know the second half is really kind of just set up for the next chapter. But yeah, if you haven't seen Day 5, please watch it. Please watch it. I implore you. Like I said, the first 2 seasons are out. Season 3 comes out next year. It got pushed back a little bit just so that way they can work on it a bit more. But my God, dude, Season 2, the last 2 episodes of Season 2 were fucking crazy. Like, it's such a good show. Like I said, it's the premise of, it's almost like a zombie apocalypse, but take the zombies out and replace it with if you fall asleep, you die. So it's all about staying awake. It's all about finding a quote-unquote cure. It's all about finding the source. It's all about gathering information. It's all about meeting new characters, friendships, rivalries, betrayal, all that shit. It's a world of survival. It's such a good movie / show that's not really a movie. But anyways, go watch it. That's basically what this is setting up to be. Qrow comes in and he's like, they're all dead. All the houses, every body in every house. Or every bed in every house.
Since Qrow wasn't completely covered in snow, is he not flying around in the storm? The concept of this Grimm reminds me of the Pokemon Drowsy/Hypno.
Drowsy/Hypno. Yeah, I mean, if the intro is anything to be expected, it's more like a Hecatoncheires, but even then I don't think so, because like the Hecatoncheires is like a freaking giant with multiple arms and like multiple eyes and stuff like that, whereas this one is just like, it just has multiple like arms and actually, yeah, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, it's literally a Hecatoncheires. It has multiple eyes and multiple limbs. I literally just answered my own question in the same set in the same breath. Oh, no. Bricknado Studios. I'm no sellout. I'm not gonna... I mean, if you do it first, then maybe, but no. We don't do that around these parts. But yeah, Qrow basically says every home in every kingdom... I'm sorry, every home in the estate, it's like the whole estate went to sleep and never woke and didn't wake up. And you think literally freaking day 5. If you've seen day 5, it's a day 5 reference. If you haven't seen it, then it's like, oh my god, that's such a cool concept. But yeah, it's been done before. It's been coined by Rooster Teeth, I think. And they're kind of doubling down on this concept for RWBY now in a really cool way, featuring the Grimm. So yeah, that's kind of the deal right now. They're bunkering down. They have no other option at this point. So it's you know, so at this point it kind of seems like they're just waiting for something to happen now, because they have no other choice but to sit down, you know, but to bunker down and wait for things to blow over. So so yeah, so that's kind of like the initial thing. Like, we already know like the deal of how things are working. I really liked this scene right here. I don't know why, but Weiss standing alone in the middle of the, like, you know, she's like she's not feeling all that great, and I'm like, oh my god, you are literally the fucking best girl in the world. Like, I love, like, that shot just looks really well done. You know, I just really like how they did that shot. She just looks so precious, so adorable. And then Ruby's trying to comfort her. She's like, food. So really quick, and I don't mean to generalize, and I mean this with the best of intentions, but this is based on my life and my personal experiences growing up, and just having, you know, people in my life and stuff like that. When RWBY said, food always makes me feel better, I just thought of, like, I was like, every girl that I've ever talked to, or every girl that I've ever, like, met or knew on a personal level loves food. And I'm just like, RWBY, that's probably the most relatable thing you've ever said in this show. Food always makes me feel better. Like, damn straight it does. Comfort foods, you know what I mean? Like, that whole thing. But yeah, I think, like, RWBY saying it more than anything just made me remember. I'm like, oh my god, I remember so often, there's so many people in my life that are just like, I love food. I love food maybe too much, or, you know, they have their comfort foods like ice cream or whatever, or snacks. But that was like the most relatable thing she's ever said. She's like, food always makes me feel better when I'm feeling bad, when I'm feeling depressed. It's like, you just eat you eat until you can't feel emotions. Yeah, low key though, food is like fucking amazing. Like, not just from like a place of nourishment and sustenance, but like, you know, who here is eating just because they're bored? Like, bored eating, comfort food eating. Like, food is fucking great, man. And we need it to survive, so we've been eating since we were born. So yeah, yeah, like me in middle school, actually it was more like in high school, I would literally just go into my fridge, open my fridge, close it, leave, come back like 10 minutes later, open the fridge as if food magically appears. And I'm just, or if I'm bored, I'll just like eat, because I'm just like, what else am I gonna do? At least if I'm eating, like, I'm getting a reaction out of the food I'm eating, right? Like, I got some dopamine, I got some chemical reactions going on, I'm feeling good about myself, and then like 20 minutes later, I can't move. I'm eating right now! Yeah, someone in the chat's like, I'm eating right now. Yeah, I'm hungry now. God damn it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna eat after the stream. just because I haven't eaten since like this afternoon. All right, guys, this is the part of the stream where you all go get something to eat. But yeah, again, super relatable. I was just like, wow, RWBY, you just like, that like fucking relate, like hashtag relatable. That's like the most relatable thing you could ever say. But yeah, and Weiss just isn't feeling so hot right now. Obviously, she just was traumatized by a corpse and whatnot. So they're all going to do their thing. Weiss and Blake are going to find a way to kind of get things up and moving. Qrow's going to survey the area. Team RWBY and Weiss are going to look through the rest of the house. And then Maria and Oscar are going to chill by the fire with this book that apparently she's going to tell us another fairy tale before bed. So we might very well just get another nuke drop on us that maybe in the same vein of Volume 3, Chapter 6, you know, the fairy tale of the maidens, or volume, you know, Chapter 3 of Volume 6 with the girl in the tower. Also, I'm wondering how she's going to tell a story when she's blind. But yeah, I think, because if you go back and you look at the scene, she's looking specifically. She's looking for a book specifically. So this might be a popular fairy tale that we just haven't heard of yet. And it could derive from a lot of truth, because all of these fairy tales that Ozpin has mentioned and told us, and Qrow has mentioned and told us, are very true. Like, everything in this world is true, and they're just made to be fables at this point. But I think she'll probably talk about the Silver Eyes, and she's probably going to talk about it to a degree that involves her. If she is a silver-eyed warrior, she'll have that first-hand experience. And if she's telling a fairy tale, she can kind of blur the line between what the fairy tale deems as true or not true, and based on her experiences, be able to basically relay that, like give us the truth of the fairy tale instead of that. Notice how the book is eye, right? Like silver eyes. I don't know if that's what they were going for, or maybe if that's the Roman numeral for 1. Maybe that's a book in a series. But yeah, I think that was very interesting that Maria, of all people, are going to tell us a story. Because from the intro as well, it's very clear that she's affiliated to an extent with Silver Eyes. It seems like she's going to play a role in being like RWBY's mentor for Silver Eyes, if the intro is anything to go off of. And that's the popular theory right now. That's my theory, at least. And, you know, I have a theory on like what her semblance is, and that kind of correlates to the Silver Eyes. And the fact that she has no eyes now, maybe, you know, there's a bunch of theories going around about it. But yeah, I do think that we're going to get another story pretty soon about the Silver Eyes, and that's something that we've been wanting to know more about ever since it was first mentioned or expressed in Volume 3, the finale. So yeah, get it? Roman numeral? Oh my god, you guys are so freaking quick-witted with these puns. Holy shit. I didn't even realize I made a pun. Wow. Hey, what's up, Mark? I don't want to butcher your last name. Gutierrez? I think that's how you say that? Or Gutierrez? Welcome to the live stream discussion, bud. Eye for an eye. God damn it, I know, right? Like, what the hell? Now, you guys are pretty quick-witted with that. So yeah, we'll probably be getting another lore drop in a couple chapters. Hopefully about the Silver Eyes at this point. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, and now shifting. We shift to the Bumblebees. And the post-traumatic stress and the Adam flashbacks. And these two as characters, like, just fucking yell at each other already. I like that they're not gonna just... I'm obviously, that was a bit of hyperbole on my part. But, I mean, I'm glad that they're not just throwing it in our face and just getting it out of the way. I'm glad that Yang responded the way she did to Blake, and she wasn't just like, oh my gosh, you'll protect me, I love you, you're my knight in shining armor, thank you so much. Like, no, she's like, the fuck did you say to me? You're gonna protect me? Alright, well, now everything you just said, like, they had their moment, and then it's like the whatchamacallit, it's like the South Park meme, where it's like, You got what you wanted, and it's gone. Like, they had their moment, and it's gone. You know, because of what Blake said. And, you know, it's understandable. Another little attention to detail here that I liked was that Yang is seeing Adam in his Volume 3 outfit, because that's the last time she kind of saw him. And Blake is seeing Adam in his Volume 4 outfit, you know, excluding the hood, obviously. I think the hood's there just to look cool. But I like the continuity. They're keeping everything intact. Blake last saw Adam in Volume 5. Yang last saw Adam in Volume 3. So the fact that they're both having different visions of the same person makes sense. Also, it's also an asset flip because Rooster Teeth basically literally just made an Adam Taurus character short of his old outfit, of him in from
Isn't it
pre-volume.
weird that Yang and Blake are experiencing similar trauma but feel so far apart? I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for them to just talk to each other about it.
That's a good idea. Well, I mentioned that too when I watched the intro for the first time, and I did my reaction to that. That was at the end of my Volume 1 review. That was the end of my Volume 1 reaction. I said that. I was like, you saw Blake and Yang both like Yang was just like, oh, I don't want to talk to her right now. And then you see the flash of Adam in the window. And I said, like, Adam is going to be the bond that brings them. Adam's going to be the like the linchpin, like what keeps them together, what brings them together. It's just like they're both dealing with it differently right now. And they had a little bit of that just now. Like, she was like, you know, you think Adam's still out there? Like, she's looking for comfort because she's afraid of him. And she knows that Blake's has dealt with him in the past. Did I say Volume 1 again? I'm sorry. You would think after doing this for like 5 years that I'd be better at it, but I'm not. I'm still flubbing and messing up and hicking up and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but like, again, because I got cut off a little bit, this is Adam, the asset that they basically used of his model for the Adam character short. So they were just like, yo, let's flip it, let's reuse it for this scene too. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone. It's not like they made this entire model just for this one scene, but the fact that he had an Adam short was really good. But yeah, again, like, I like the continuity of it, the fact that Blake has seen him in a more modern time or more recent time, so he has the recent outfit to go with that. And similarly with Adam, you know, last time Yang saw him at least was Volume 3, so it makes sense that she would envision him in his Volume 3 outfit. The only thing that doesn't make sense then, and I'm still going to talk about this, I don't give a shit, because I refuse to believe it, Emerald should not have been able to make a clone or an image of RWBY to Cinder in her Volume 4 outfit when the last time she saw RWBY was in Volume 3. And no, I refuse to believe that Tyrion gave a precise description of what she looked like. Like, no. Like, unless that was a hiccup or something. You know, unless that was, like, just a continuity error, that's fine. But yeah, like, going back to that, it's like, if they're able to do the continuity correctly in this regard with Yang and Blake, then it's fine if they messed up. But people are like, Tyrion gave a very precise, descript, you know, point by point of exactly what RWBY was wearing down to the last thread. And I'm just like, no, he didn't. So yeah, just going back to all of that, it just makes it more noticeable that they're learning, they're improving, they're making up for the past, you know, not really mistakes, because it's like, well, yeah, it's a mistake technically, but like, it's not like they're learning from it essentially. So that it's always good to see. It's always good to see. So yeah, I do like that the whole Adam thing. I do like how he's still a thing. There's something though that I do want to say, and this is similar to what Eruption Fang mentioned. Eruption Fang does these, he does his, like, breakdowns every week, and I'm a patron of his, so I saw his breakdown for this chapter already, and he basically mentioned something. I'm not going to give it all away, because obviously it's his video, and it's going to be out this weekend, but he basically says how, like, it's really annoying how Blake tells us more about Adam than Adam tells us about Adam. Or Blake tells us more about Adam than we see of Adam, and we're just led to believe all of that stuff. I can't disagree with that. Like, I really do agree wholeheartedly with that. Like, she talks about, like, oh, Adam controls people, or, you know, he used to control me, he used to get into my head. You know, Adam never really liked people telling him what to do. It's like, but we never saw that. So I like at least this volume, Rooster Teeth has given us more tell don't show than ever before. So I hope they keep this up, because right now we have been told more things about Adam than we've seen of Adam. And I can't, like, you can't really avoid that. Like, yeah, you can go along with it, but at some point you're going to be like, damn, man, Adam sounds so cool. I wish I could actually see how cool he is, or I wish I could actually see for myself all the stuff that Adam has done. Show don't tell. Yeah, god damn it. I'm human, guys. If there was any time that you thought that I was anything but a man, this is it right now. I meant to say, show
Blake,
don't
please.
tell.
I am the man in this relationship. I will protect you.
Yeah. And so, Arnold, you're tired? No, I'm not tired. I'm just getting flubbed. I do this all the time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. At least you guys know what I mean, so you guys can correct me so I can feel dumb. One hand washes the others, guys. If it wasn't for you, I'd go on my rambles uncorrected. God forbid. But yeah, so they're kind of bonding over their, you know, different struggles. And Yang mentions it too. She's like, I still have flashes from that night. You know, the night my arm got cut off. The same night you left me. You know, obviously that's a little shot fired right there. But no, like in general, you know, they're having a moment. They're bonding over it, and it was good. And I'm glad Yang wasn't sold on it, because Blake was like, I'm not leaving. If Adam shows up again, I'll stand by you, and we'll face it together, and I'll protect you. And the last thing you need to tell the character who burns brighter than everyone, who heavily is reliant, who's basically probably gone her whole life needing to be depended on, right? Summer Rose leaves, her mother leaves, Tai Yang's in dismay. She has to be strong for her sister. She's the one who takes care of Ruby from such a young age, right? Going to Beacon, helping her sister through, making friends. Yang is more comfortable, or I guess Yang is just more, you know, it's just more on her to have people rely on her than for her to rely on people. So when Blake's like, when Blake's like, oh, I'll protect you, in Yang's head, it's like, you think you want to protect me because you think that I can't protect myself. Or it's basically that mindset. Like, she thinks that Blake can't, like, that's Yang's interpretation. Like, oh, Blake thinks I'm weak. Blake thinks I need to be sheltered. Blake thinks I need to be protected. Blake thinks I can't handle it. And it's similar earlier in the earlier in the volume when, like, Yang was simply taking a bag off the shelf. And let me just say really quick, I know Blake is doing it from a place of, like, she still feels bad. She's not doing it to belittle or undermine Yang. She's doing it because A, she feels guilty, and B, a part of her feels like Yang needs that support. But the problem is, Yang isn't weak. Yang's strong. That's the definition that you defined her as. You said in Volume 4, Yang's, you know, you associate Yang with the term strength. So all of a sudden, you shouldn't be treating her like, basically, like someone who's not capable just because she lost her limb. She's got a fucking robot arm. She can still do stuff, you know? So I think it's more so Blake's just, she's trying too hard instead of just, like, you know, going with things as they are. She's trying to compensate for what happened, and I understand that. But at the same time, I'm surprised that she doesn't understand why Blake is upset at what she said, you know? So yeah, that was Volume 5. Oh my god, you guys know what I mean. I'm sorry. They just need to talk. They just need to talk. Just to let people know, because people were asking in the chat, Day 5 isn't on the RT site at the moment because, oh yeah, Day 5 isn't on the site right now because there's a TV deal, and it's actually on television in certain countries. So yeah, there's a TV deal that they have, but it will be back once it's finished airing. So season 1 and season 2 are currently airing. I'd highly recommend either you look it up, like do a Google search, or the RT site. Josh, what's his name? Josh. Who's the director, or who's like the lead guy? I know his name, Josh Flanagan. Okay, yeah, so Josh Flanagan, like, just look him up on the RT site or his Twitter, and he's basically, like, he's basically the director for Day 5. So, that's how you'll be able to kind of learn more about it if you don't know about Day 5 thus far. They also have it on Blu-ray DVD on the Rooster Teeth site, on the Rooster Teeth store. So, yeah. Let's see. Kyle Banks. I have a theory about the Grimm in the Basement. It's related to one of the stories of From Shadows manga anthology, The Itsy Bitsy Spider. Oh, boy. I don't think it'll be that minor. I think it's really going to be more so like the Hecatoncheires level of references based on the intro and everything else. But yeah, again, just to kind of nip this in the bud right now, Blake and Yang, still very emotional, still very on ends, still that confrontation. I'm glad Yang went with this response, because if she was just like, okay, I would have been like, that's bullshit. Like, Yang has been so pissed off for so long, especially with Volume 5, when she was just thinking about, like, Blake coming back and leaving her and stuff like that. Weiss had to talk to her. She had to, like, just bite the bullet and just accept Blake back into the fold at the finale. But now it's like, now that she's around, it's like, okay, well, there's an elephant in the room whenever these two are together. So I can understand Blake being nice about it, being caring about it, but at the same time, she's inadvertently causing things to get worse for her, because, you know, Yang isn't weak just because she lost her arm, and she realizes that, and everyone else around her realizes that, but Blake doesn't. Or Blake, I guess, is, you know, she's got these lenses on that sees what happened to Blake, what happened to Yang as her fault, and she has to protect her at all times, you know? Oh, but yeah. Off topic, but holy shit. Within 30 seconds, it went from cloudy to heavy rain in Southern California, of all places. I mean, no, like, I don't mean to, like, just be very, I don't mean to be so, casual about it, but isn't California, like, on fire right now? Don't they need all the water they can get? I think they would. I don't know if it's Southern California that's on fire, like, that's suffering from, like, the forest fire. We're always on fire. Oh my god. Yeah. Hopefully it's raining is a good thing. Like, you guys would want that, right? You know? So, yeah. It's always on fire. Yeah. Okay, so moving on from this scene, I think we've talked about it long enough. Obviously, we all know the deal of it. I hope we get some more emotions out of Yang, emotions out of Blake. They just need to both go into a room and yell at each other for like 10 minutes. Get it all out of their system. So this scene was cool. This reminded me, how many of you guys, okay, so what did this remind you of? Okay, someone already said it in the chat. More Harry Potter. This reminded me so much of Harry Potter. First off, the tip of Weiss's Martin Astor rapier was glowing, and that reminded me of, spoiler alert, in Harry Potter. I don't want to spoil anybody on Harry Potter, so I'm not going to say the spoiler, but someone dies, and they basically, like, all put their wands in the sky, or wands, like, they all raise their wands, and all their wands, like, have that same dim effect. That's what it reminded me of, number one. And then just how the fire, like, spreads around the room. I thought that was cool as fuck. I was like, how the hell is that not magic? Like, how is that just dust manipulation? Or, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it was for the effect of it to look cool, but, like, that looks more like magic than the maiden powers do, you know? So, yeah, Lumus Maxima. That's what it reminded me of. But yeah, like, this looked more like magic than anything else in the show that uses dust or semblances besides actual maiden magic. But anyways, I leave it at that. So, I kind of like that. Oh, can we talk about something really quick? This is really, really good. I'm really happy that they're going this route. And again, it's tackling a more serious topic in a serious way, which is alcohol abuse and, you know, alcoholism. And I think for volumes 1, 2, and 3, or rather volume 3, and maybe a little bit of 4, I think it was fine. I think it was fun. I think it was in good character. I think it was overall okay that they played up Uncle Qrow as the drunk uncle, the fun-loving, reckless drunk Uncle Qrow, right? Oh, he's always drunk. Haha, I did it. Like, every scene that they have of Qrow drinking, it's supposed to be a funny, comedic, it's supposed to be an optimistic perspective of his character. Like, oh, he drinks, that's funny. Ha ha ha. And then like volume 5 and volume 6 get a lot more serious, and now it's like, okay, it was funny back then, it's not funny anymore. Like, it's fun to be like, he's drunk, he's always drunk, and he's always taking swigs of his flask. But now I really appreciate that they're being very delicate with Qrow right now, because alcohol abuse, a dysfunctional a functioning alcoholic is still an alcoholic, and abuse of alcohol is never a good thing, and it always comes from a place emotionally or mentally, whether it's depression, whether it's stress. It's a way of coping with things, be it your life, your situation, your environment, etc. Love life, whatever the case might be. Most people drink because it's a way of coping. And I like that RWBY at least is like, okay, I know how bad my uncle can get, and he's really like messed up right now from everything, and if he has alcohol at his disposal, it's gonna get worse for him, and he's gonna just go into this downward spiral, and I don't want that. So I like that they're now not making light of Qrow's alcohol problems or his drinking problems, especially because I'm pretty sure, I'm not saying anyone in this chat, but I wouldn't be surprised if anyone in this chat or anybody who watches this show has experienced that, or has dealt, not themselves, but has either dealt with alcohol abuse themselves or knows someone that has, and it's affected them. So I'm fine. Like, volume 1 through 3 was a completely different tone than it is now. Like, right? Like, volume 1 through 3 compared to now was a freaking walk in the park, sunshine and rainbows and cool fights and all that shit. Like, the tone was so different. The tone was so different in volume 1 through 3. So the fact that they're willing to lean on that a little bit more in like in a playful manner is fine. But now I like how that's actually going to be a crutch for Qrow, and it's going to be a crutch for the situation if it gets any worse. So yeah, I do like that they're making a much more serious point of this. Like, okay, Qrow is going to be affected by this. There's alcohol everywhere, and if he gets his hands on it, it's not going to look good for him. And when you watch the intro, that's the implication as well. You see how Qrow looks at RWBY? Like, it's Qrow and RWBY standing there, and then it shows Maria Calavera. It shows Maria, like, it shows the pan from RWBY's eye, like Maria's eyes to RWBY's eyes, and then it shows Qrow. Like, in that shot, Qrow just looks depressed. Crow's just like, fuck. Like I don't even want to be here, right? And I mentioned during that, like, during chapter 1, I mentioned that maybe it's because he sees RWBY going down the same path his mother went down. Imagine right now, and I can see this playing out right now. Imagine right now, Qrow manages to find the beer, like, find the alcohol, and he's drinking. And imagine he's drinking and listening to the story that Maria's gonna tell, and the story Maria's gonna tell is gonna be about the Silver Eyes. He's gonna put 2 and 2 together really quick, and he's gonna be like, Silver Eyes, Summer Rose, now her daughter. You know what I mean? Like, that's just gonna be a whirlwind of just depression for him. And I think that it'll be good for A, giving us the Silver Eyes story, and B, tying that into Qrow's depression and alcohol abuse, and C, maybe even tying in his past with Team Stark. Because another thing too, I didn't feature it in here because I didn't know I was going to talk about it, but if you remember the picture that he has of Team Stark, there's like teardrops on it, and there's like, it's like crumpled, and it has like...
I feel like Qrow might let out the Grimm in the wine cellar in his drunken stupor.
Oh god, no, I hope he doesn't do that. Fuck. But, yeah, and he's bad luck too, so everything that's gonna happen, he's probably gonna be willing to blame himself, like, oh, this is happening because of me, by the way. You know, I don't know. It doesn't look good. But the picture that he has, the picture of Team Stark, it has, like, teardrops on it. It has, like the outer rim of what could be, like, a beer bottle or a wine bottle or an alcoholic bottle or whatever, just that he just had there, you know, on top of the picture over time. And he had it over Summer Rose's face. You know what I mean? So, if he hears about the Silver Eyes, if he sees what's happening to RWBY, that's just going to trigger more of those like repressed memories that he's going through, and alcohol is only going to amplify those feelings even more. So, oh god, listening to you, I need a drink to cope with you explaining an anime. I'm sorry, but yeah, so I think this is good. Not for the outcome, but I think it's good because it's a very serious and a very real thing, and a lot of people can relate to it, and it just depends on how Rooster Teeth decides to play their cards in revealing it. And yeah, Qrow being drunk out of his mind with a Grimm that presumably has some type of effect on the sleeping isn't good. You know, and Qrow is the most experienced one out of everybody here. So if Qrow's like out of the fight, if he's passed out drunk, or if he gets killed or whatever, you got all these students, all these kids, right? Because even on the train, you had the students all taking care of the fodder Grimm. You had all of them fighting the manticores, and, you know, basically those were the fodder. And then you had Qrow, the actual huntsman, fighting the boss, like holding off the boss level Sphinx, and then all of them taking it down together. So, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say Qrow's gonna die, because I really like Qrow, and he's been around for the last 2 volumes, extensively been around for the last 2 volumes, and I still feel like we don't know enough about him for where I'd be satisfied if they killed him off. But I don't know. Like, and another thing too, Rooster Teeth mentioned they didn't kill Qrow I mean, not to say that they were planning on killing Qrow. Maybe they were never planning on killing him, but the fake out that they did with him getting poisoned by Tyrion, they said at that time, we knew if we killed Qrow, people would have been pissed. So I think that was always a fake out. They were never planning on committing to killing him. They just did that to kind of be like, oh, like, holy shit, he could literally die. Like, he's on death's doorstep. But, I don't know about now. Especially if they give us a Team Stark flashback, we know as much about Qrow as we need to right now. We just need to know about his past. Also, I'd be pissed if they killed him off, because the man he's used his scythe like once. I'd be more pissed off about that than about learning more about him. The fact that this scythe master who taught RWBY everything she knows, he's only used his scythe like once, and it was at the beginning of this volume. That's what I'd be upset about. I'd be so livid about that. No. Whoever said he used his scythe twice, do not imply that Qrow taking his scythe and swinging it once to slice a Grimm in half counts as him using his scythe. That was a cock tease, if anything. That was not him using his scythe at all. Absolutely not. No. Anyways. I don't know. I don't consider him using that. I don't count that at all. He literally, that was the first time we saw him use his in scythe form. That was it. We've seen him use his sword multiple times. We've seen him use his sword. We've never seen him use his scythe until like this week, like this volume. And I'm sticking to that. Anyways. Oh.
I feel like Qrow will die protecting Oscar. It would be as accepting of him and forgiving as been.
That's another thing too. What would really fucking suck is if Qrow dies when Ozpin's not even around. And then Ozpin comes around and he's dead, and Ozpin's gonna blame himself. He's gonna be like, fuck. That truth, like, broke Qrow, probably had his mind in a different place, and got him distracted, and he died. Fuck off, man. Wow. That's gonna suck for Ozpin so bad if that happens. He's not even around. Oh boy. Oh dear. Yeah, so let's just pray and hope to God that Qrow, someone slaps some sense into him, break all these freaking bottles, like, tell him to stop drinking, like, help him through it, like, just don't enable it, like, I don't know. Something? I don't know. But again, like, I'll just leave off at this again. I like that they're making a serious, they're shifting the tone of the whole Qrow being an alcoholic. It's not a funny joke anymore. It's not there for comedic value. It'll always be there comedically in the previous volumes, and I'm pretty sure it'll always be there in Chibi. But for the main show, I like how they're making a lot. Like, it's a serious. It's nothing to joke about. It's nothing to laugh at. It's a crippling condition that people suffer from, and Qrow's no exception, despite him being a popular character. So again, love the fact that they're doing this. Let's see. It wasn't any Grimm that killed the people at the farm. It was the shrimp-flavored beans with extra sodium. Oh boy. Well, let's talk about that next. The whole cause of everything. So, Yang's tired. Weiss doesn't know what she's saying. Weiss is tired. Everyone in this estate fell asleep and didn't wake up. So, like, it's a very, and again, this whole place, this whole, like, Brunswick, the Headless Horseman, it's all a Sleepy Hollow reference. So, I don't know if it's the Grimm necessarily that has, like, a passive ability. It's trapped under there, it can't do anything, so the most that it's gonna do is, like, emit a way of putting its victims to sleep. Also, hashtag don't fall asleep. That's like the mantra of day 5, by the way. Don't fall asleep, because if you fall asleep, you die. So I don't know if it's emitting something that's affecting the people. I don't know if there's something in the alcohol, and let me get into that.
Ruby's optimism is slowly slipping. Her cheery attitude is all we had from the good times.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, I mean, Lindsay foresaw, like, Lindsay kind of teased this. She said, like, Ruby's demeanor is going to change this volume. It's going to change as the volume goes on, and we're seeing that more and more and more now, like, with her uncle and, you know, everything that's happening around her. So that's very understandable, and to be honest, people want that. People want a dynamic Ruby. Like, they don't want the same happy-go-lucky Ruby from volume 1 to the series finale, because that shows that, and, you know, in some cases, people will say, like, yeah, well, that's her character. Like, that's just who she is, but nobody's the same person forever. Like, nobody. I'm not the same person I was when I was 15 or 16. I wasn't even the same person I was 5 years ago. So, you know, to say that, like, to be content with being like, oh, well, that's just who Ruby is. No one's the same person that they are ever. So I think it's a long time coming. Obviously, the writers are aware of it. They've responded. They know that people want more of a dynamic shift in Ruby for her motivations, for you know, her as a team leader and everything, and we're getting that now, which is really good to see. She's becoming Sasuke. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think she's gonna, like, kill off her family to test the limits of her abilities.
They should all be pumped full of adrenaline right now, so the fact that they are tired is a bit unnerving. Yeah.
Also, Velcro, thank you for the donations, by the way. Holy shit, my friend. Please don't go overboard with it. I do appreciate the support nonetheless. D. Anthony Potts, thank you for the donation as well. I very much appreciate that, seriously. That's Itachi Arnold. Well, I'm saying, like, that'll be her excuse. I combined the two. Oh, wait, no, I completely butchered that. What the fuck am I saying? She's gonna get revenge because Yang kills her dad, and it's going to be revealed that Yang is the Itachi of the show. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. What the hell? That is Itachi. Okay, guys, now I'm willing to chalk it up to maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm just not thinking straight. Like, that was a complete flub. Those were two different characters. Also, I appreciate you guys a lot, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't realize how dumb I sound half the time. There's really no excuse there. Yeah, I'm willing to say that I'm tired and a little famished. But yeah. Ruby's gonna awaken her silver Mangekyo. But yeah, so there's something at work here. Everyone's tired. Everyone's like, I don't know if it's it has to be the Grimm. It has to be. It has to be. You know, everyone's like, I'm just really tired. Like, you weren't tired like a few minutes ago when you got here. I mean, granted, it's their downtime, but no. The fact that Yang's mentioning it, the fact that Weiss is mentioning it, the fact that it's a Sleepy Hollows reference, the fact that everyone here fell asleep and died, it's very much related to the Grimm. But the thing is, I don't think the villagers knew that. And another thing really quick, I'm gonna backpack off of somebody, because this theory was really interesting, and I didn't put two and two together. I completely forgot about this as well. But for those of you guys who know Raymond McNeil, Celtic Phoenix Productions, he's one of the people in the community who does videos with Fat Man Falling, British Ninja, Six Slick Productions, you know, that whole gang. They mainly like do like critiques on RWBY, and he has like a Fixing RWBY series and stuff like that. He mentioned a really interesting theory that I really liked, that I'm just gonna kind of reiterate here to kind of let people know about it. But this place is a farm, but it seems to be like a grape. It could be like consider like maybe like a grapevine farm, because they have all of this alcohol and they have a wine cellar. So, you know, I didn't show the shot of it, but they have like a wine cellar. Like the next scene that they go into is a wine cellar, and they mentioned, you know, so they're on a farm. They make wine. That's probably how they make money. They're basically like a vineyard, essentially. Yeah, a vineyard. There you go. I mean, it's like a farm for wine. a vineyard. There you go. But yeah, they're basically a vineyard, and I think this is what they do. Like, they have all of these kegs, they have all this alcohol, they have all this wine, and that's how they make their money. And I mentioned a while ago when I was talking about the Brunswick farm, like, picture, I was like, maybe these people are gambling with their lives a little bit. And the reason I say that is because Raymond reminded me of the Volume 5 commentary. He said, and I went back to it, and it's confirmed, I believe it's in Chapter 4 of the Volume 5 commentary, where Miles says that their original plans for Corsac and Fennec was that they planned to go to Roman Torchwick in Volume 1 and get Liquid Grimm. That's what he called it. He said they were going to Roman Torchwick to get Liquid Grimm, or to give him Liquid Grimm, or something like that. And that got me thinking. I'm like, what if that's like a business thing that he's doing? Like, what if the owner of this vineyard locked this Grimm, because they're all dead now, but the basement was already locked. Like, the basement's locked, but everyone's dead. So that guy must have known that Grimm was in that basement when he locked it up. What if he what if he liquefies the Grimm and makes like a drink and sells that, and that's how he makes more money that way. It would be interesting, because these people have, like, no protection. The one protection that they had was, like, that dude, like, that freaking Red Dead looking guy with the big-ass shotgun. Or, yeah, the big-ass, like, double-barrel shotgun. I don't know. Like, people do some crazy shit. There are some, like, delicacies, and there are some, like, what's it called? Like, exotic shit out there that people will pay money for. Like, people do that, like, with animals, too. Like, rhino horns and stuff like that. So, like, this is just, like, a different form of that, like, exotic product, which is essentially like he's liquefying the Grimm, putting it in his drinks. Would be crazy too if he's like doing that and then he just gives the drinks to like his competitors and then they drink it and then they die. I don't know necessarily. Like, that could be the thing. And Blake also mentioned water contamination. Like, maybe the Grimm got into the water supply somehow. And, you know, that's causing that. But the fact that Miles specifically said liquid Grimm, and we have a Grimm that's in the basement of this wine cellar that seems to be a vineyard of sorts, because the guy's got kegs, he's got wine glasses, he's got a bar, all this other stuff. It could very well imply that he's harvesting this Grimm to make a liquid version of a drink with Grimm essence to sell. Maybe on the black market, you know, make some extra dough, make some extra cash. I don't know. But yeah, basically it's a Grimm cow. And it makes sense because he's on a farm. So yeah. Yeah, so that was something I kind of took it, like, I kind of like applied it a little bit, applied a little bit more to it. But yeah, that's basically what Raymond mentioned. And I was like, holy shit, that's super fucking smart. Like, and again, too, I forgot about that commentary, so if it wasn't for him bringing that up, I would have never thought of it. So yeah, edible Grimm drink. And they're harvesting it from this Grimm that's been in this cellar for God knows how long they've been in business. And I don't, the only thing I can't explain is if that's the case, how would the Grimm get to the point where it's going to kill everyone in its sleep? Like, why wouldn't it do that initially if that's what it's always been, if this has always been going on? So there is obviously it's not completely airtight, but it's an interesting theory. It's an interesting thought. Like I said, liquid Grimm, very interesting to say. And we know that there's liquefied, like, the pools of Grimm in the realm that Salem, like in the dragon content that Salem's at, you saw the Grimm like coming out of those pools, so you can very well drink that shit, but you'll probably die. So yeah, just wanted to mention that to you guys if you guys didn't know. I thought it was a pretty cool theory, and I decided I wanted to kind of share it with you guys. I just realized that both Yang and Weiss said, "I'm just tired," after discovering the two bodies. Is it possible that whatever happened to those bodies infected them? Again, I don't know if it's the Grimm that put them to sleep or if it's the Grimm that prevented them from waking up. But basically, it looks like they died in their sleep, so it basically means they never woke up, or they died in their sleep. One of those two things. Or they were alive, but because they couldn't wake up, their bodies just malnourished and they ended up dying of starvation or, you know, lack of nutrition or nutrients. So it's one of the two things. We don't really know the nature of the Grimm yet, so we have to wait and see. But that's kind of like the two conclusions that you can really come to. Especially if everyone died in their sleep, which means they all died at night while everyone was, everyone was asleep. So yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, the best part of the episode. Let's go. The hell with Neo. Like, Neo, like, get out of my face. We're all about them three bean boys, okay? Those three bros beans. Freaking, I've seen so many memes of this picture. It's baffling. It's literally baffling how many times I've seen, like the day this episode came out. Like, the memes for this picture was just ridiculous. Everyone was replacing the beans image with something else. Three bro beans. Also, it's shrimp flavored. Like, what the fuck? I don't do well with shrimp. Like, if did I mention it in my last discussion? I'm pretty sure I talked about it. But yeah, if I can't eat like shellfish or anything like that, or my body will like reject it. So I can't eat, like, shrimp, I can't eat scallops, I can't eat crabs, I can't eat lobster, I can't eat mollusks, I can't eat clam. I think I said clams already. Why shrimp, though? Like, shrimp flavored? Yeah, I did? Okay, yeah, so, yeah, I did talk about it. But yeah, so, like, the fact that this is shrimp flavored, just, like, I'm nauseating right now. I'm like, my stomach is turning right now. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's disgusting. Ugh. Also, I kind of see, I kind of view, what am I trying to say? Jesus Christ, shellfish, my God. I just literally was, like, stuck in a loop there for a second. I view shellfish as, like, the bugs of the ocean. So yeah, not only do I find them gross, but I don't find it all that appealing to eat either. And yeah, extra sodium, and they're shrimp flavored. Like, I feel bad for anybody who fucking eats those beans, dude. First off, beans, the musical fruit, the more you eat them, the more you toot. So there's going to be a lot of flatulence going on after this meal. And I love Weiss's response, like, peasant food? Like, that was literally what she was saying. Like, the Ice Queen, the freaking princess, dude, the heiress, she was like, canned food? Like, you know, you were raised with a silver spoon in your mouth when you criticize canned food or like microwavable food, where you're just like, oh, like that's like peasant food, like what the hell? And her reaction, her face, she's like, canned food? Like, I'm above that, like, that's beneath me, you know? I just love that, because it's like, again, Weiss, she's like the high society compared to everyone else. Like, Weiss, not Weiss, RWBY and like Yang, I could see them like eating this like straight, like not even in a bowl, like just eating it straight out of the can if it was like at home or something. And yeah, I just liked that whole thing. And it was a little like, I guess it was a little jarring too, because it was a break from like the serious tension of like, everyone's falling asleep, holy shit, the freaking Grimm, what's that, what's in that freaking cellar, and everything. So I was just like a little taken aback. I wasn't expecting it, but it was a little funny. I liked it. And cap it off with the Grimm. It fucking opens and then closes, dude. And I'm just like, oh, everyone's gonna die. Everyone's literally gonna die in their sleep. I hope someone's awake. I hope they take turns, like, keeping watch, or if someone goes to sleep, not everyone goes to sleep, because, like, fuck, man. If they fall asleep, GG. Like, rip the dream. This is the series finale. Pack it in. No one's making it to Argus. Salem wins. Game over, man. Hashtag nope. Neo let the Grimm out and Roman locked it back up. That's another thing too. Like, if the Grimm did kill off like Roman and Neo's family, like how did that happen? Like, what? Because the thing is too, the problem here is that everyone's dead already, which means that this was locked up before everybody died. Right? Nothing seems out of place. If anything, it's very odd that the owner would willingly lock up and keep tabs on a Grimm on his property. And that's what it seems like. You know, it's locked up in the wine cellar. And, you know, who knows? But that's my thought. I do think, like, the owner kind of took advantage of the situation. Like, oh, shit, I can make some extra money with this Grimm, mixing it with my wines and whatnot. Or, like, mixing it in and killing my competitors. Like, holy shit, you know? But, yeah, this was deliberate. Like, they had this Grimm here for a while, and it's locked up before they died. So, that's what I'm gonna go with. No, the World of Remnant didn't say that Grimm kept in captivity. Well, they said that they either die or imprison or kill those who imprison them in the first place. That's not necessarily true, because if you remember in RWBY Volume 1, Professor Port, like, he trapped a Borbatusk in the cage and then had Weiss fight it in you know, for class, like in front of the class. So, like, that Grimm was entrapped, but it didn't die. You know what I mean? If they do just enough to keep the Grimm alive, like, it's livestock to them, technically. So yeah, they're gonna probably feed it, like, food or humans or whatever the fuck Grimm eat, to keep it alive. But I don't think, like, yeah, I don't think necessarily that, it's gonna die just because it's locked up.
One more tip. What if it is a giant mosquito like Grimm that drains the body of fluids after it puts you to sleep with scented emits?
That's terrifying. No giant mosquitoes, please. Mosquitoes are fucking atrocious, disgusting vermin of an animal or of an insect. God, no. That's like my worst fears imagined. Giant mosquitoes, like, kill me now. Woo! But overall, guys, in a nutshell, that is the discussion. 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 42 seconds. About 20 of those minutes are chalked up to kind of just rambling and kind of the opening of the stream. But my God, this is a great chapter. I really liked it, obviously. Neo's back. We got a lot of setup for the Brunswick farm situation that's going to be going down next week, this weekend for Chapter 6. Really happy and hoping to see how that comes together. Hopefully our theories are correct about like Roman and Neo being from Brunswick farms. Hopefully we find out more about that Grimm. Oh, fuck. I just realized something. If my theory is right, and the owner made liquid Grimm, like, if he used the Grimm to make, like, liquid Grimm with his wine, that means Qrow could potentially get it and drink it and die. And that would make sense why those arms pulled him down into the depths, because those are the arms that made the drink. Fuck off, man. If Qrow dies, I'm gonna be devastated. I'm gonna be so devastated if Qrow dies. Oh boy, I'm sorry that I left that. I'm sorry that's the note that I'm gonna leave you guys on. I don't want to be, like, depressing or anything like that. Oh, boy. Yeah. I just realized that at the very end, I'm like, oh, shit. 2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths. So yeah. You could say you called it. Well, I mean, like I said, the liquid Grimm thing, I came to mind of and added on it because Raymond initially brought it to my attention, so... You know, it's more of like a we thing. Like, I feel like that's how the whole fandom works. Like, no one person comes up with something solely on their own. It's always like, there's always other people thinking the same way as you. Whether or not you came up with it first, I think that's irrelevant, really. But yeah. At the very least, if it doesn't kill Qrow, it'll affect him, like, on some next level, like, I don't know. It's gonna be pretty fucking nuts. Because he's already under a lot of stress, and if he's drinking, that's another thing. And if he drinks liquid Grimm, like, what kind of poisoning is that? Is Grimm poisoning? Alcohol Grimm poisoning? I don't know. I don't know how many more freaking... I don't know how much more, like, close calls Qrow can have before he, like, bites the dust. So, yeah, and we can't kill Vic Mignogna. Vic Mignogna's awesome, you know? But yeah, that's my discussion, guys. Like I said, my reaction will be posted this weekend, Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, as per usual. I am going to try to have my theory video out in a more concise manner, hopefully on Saturday morning, just because the thumbnail has Neo in it, so it's a spoiler thumbnail. And everyone is gonna bitch and complain, but at the same time, like, I as a content creator, I have to do one or the other. Like, I can't.
Fake out with him. He'd more than likely die.
If he does get poisoned by that stuff, I don't think they can write themselves another fake out for him. Yeah. Oh my god! Oh my god! I just thought of something! Holy shit! Okay, oh my god, I just thought of something, guys. So, you know how okay, so Brunswick is based on, you know, Sleepy Hollows and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's about, like, oh, these guys, like, it's basically people, like, warn you of the Headless Horseman. Like, oh, don't ride out here, the Headless Horseman's around, he's gonna get you, etc. What if, because I mentioned this too, I was like, what if Qrow drinks it and it turns him into a Grimm? And then Team RWBY has to fight him. Holy shit! Oh my god! No. I'm sorry. These come to my mind and I have to share it with you. Oh my god. A Grimmified Qrow. It's a bit of a stretch. Well, I'm just bringing the possibility to light. Not saying it will happen, but we know that Grimm, like Cinder's part Grimm. We don't know how that happened, but she's part Grimm. So, you know, drinking, consuming Grimm essence. You know, we've seen what's her name, Salem. She jumped into the pool and she's like Grimmified. So I don't think it should be any different if Qrow decides to drink liquefied Grimm. You know? So yeah. But goddamn, I'm sorry. I am sorry, guys. That's the last thing I'm gonna leave you guys off on. I'm sorry. It came to my mind, so I just had to share it. But yeah, anyways, like I said, my reaction to Chapter 5 is currently available on Patreon for my early access patrons in the Huntsman and Huntress tier or above. If you are not a patron, the chapter will be out as usual on YouTube. It'll be a premiere. God damn it, I'm trying to close out the stream.
Succubus sometimes drain the life force of humans in their sleep, keeping them in a dreamlike state until they shrivel up and die. Qrow can't fight a female Grimm. Look up the video game, Catherine.
Catherine. I've heard about that game. Oh gosh, Qrow can't fight a female Grimm. Oh dear. That's gonna be interesting. Thank you for the donation, by the way. Also, thank you to everybody today for being super supportive and super generous. All the donations, the super chats, obviously the feedback in the general chat as well. I appreciate it. I'll try this one more time. So, early reactions posted on Patreon. My live premiere of my Chapter 5 reaction will be posted at 12 o'clock noon on Saturday. So, an hour after the new episode goes up for first members. As usual, it's the usual deal. The live chat will be there and everything. Sunday, I will have a video uploaded. It's already scheduled. It's already in my video. It's scheduled. It's happening. A video is coming out on Saturday. I will try my darndest to get a video out on Monday. Monday or Tuesday will be another RWBY video. So yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta take off slow chat now that the stream's done. I always forget to do that. Like, once I say my piece, like the final words I need to say, that's when I think I should get used to taking slow chat off. Yeah, but I want to take slow chat off before I leave. All right, there you go. Freedom! But yeah, so yeah, you guys will have a bunch of RWBY videos over the weekend and into next week. I'm gonna try my best to get my TLD, my rapid fire reviews out for RWBY, the first 5 chapters at this point. Most of them are scripted. I just haven't recorded or edited them yet. But, you know, it's supplementary content. The scripts were all written when the episodes first came out, so it's going to feel a little weird because, you know, when my episode 1 review comes out, we're already in episode 5, so it's going to feel like whatever I say has already been said or is contradictory at this point, but I'm still going to post it anyway, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and hopefully I can catch all that up before Chapter 6 comes out for the public, so basically before next week. Another thing too, Super Smash Bros. Comes out next week. If you guys have a Nintendo Switch you guys want to play, be sure to follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MurderofBirds. That's where I'm going to be playing Smash Bros. With my Twitch subscribers and my viewers and stuff like that. Next week is the Video Game Awards. So next week, next week's live stream, Chapter 6's live stream, will be on Thursday, but it'll probably be a little earlier, maybe 5 p.m. because the Game Awards takes place at 9 p.m. So I'll either do my stream either at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, depending on how long the episode is, just so I can do the RWBY stream and then switch over to Twitch and then do the Game Awards co-hosted stream as well, so we can all watch it together for any of you guys who are big gamers and who are looking forward to the Game Awards and everything. But yeah, with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I had a lot of fun watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. I hope you enjoyed the videos that are coming out. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for, you know, continuing to support me, continuing to watch my videos and enjoy them. It makes all the work super well worth it, and, you know, I look forward to the rest of all. Volume 5 has been hyped so far, so I'm super excited, just as much as you guys, to check everything else out as we continue the rest of the series. But with all that said, you guys all have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Take care.